Hey everybody, just going to take a quick break from the show to tell you a little bit about Shutterfly. If you're like us, you take a lot of pictures because you have a camera right in your hand all the time. How would you not take a lot of pictures? And we're taking all these pictures, more than we've ever taken in the history of the world.
What are you going to do with them all?
That's the thing. You used to get a solid picture, and then you'd look through them, and you could enjoy them. Now they're like back on your camera roll. You can't even find them. You don't want that. That's why the cool thing you need to do, and what I did, and I think it's pretty cool, is create a Shutterfly photo book.
Oh.
What I did, and you're going to enjoy this, Jimmy, because I haven't showed this to you yet, but took all of our pictures from being on tour this year.
Oh.
All live show pictures, us backstage, us on stage, doing all that stuff, and like some of the, just the venues and things, and made a little photo book out of that. Also, they have free 24-hour designer service as well. With their 24-hour designer service, a professional designer is going to lay out the book for you for free in just a day. Make something that means something with Shutterfly. Enjoy 40% off orders over $29 with promo code SMALLTOWN. See site for promotional details.
And now back to the show.
Hey everybody, just going to take a quick break from the show to get you styled up with Stitch Fix. Shopping's hard. It's hard. With Stitch Fix, you get a stylist, though, who understands your style, your size, your budget, and they do all the shopping for you.
Wow.
This is excellent. Shopping, I'm telling you, shopping and figure out your style, it's overwhelming. Let somebody help you when it comes to getting dressed. We don't know what we're doing, so we let Stitch Fix help us out. A Stitch Fix stylist there. They know what works on us. We get the prices that make us look really good, and it feels good. You get some confidence boost walking around knowing that you're looking decent here.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, we just give the stylist our sizes, style, budget preferences. We order boxes when we want, how we want, no subscription or any of that required. And they send called Just For Me pieces as well. Like, maybe you'd like this, and it's awesome. Outfit recommendations, styling tips. You keep what you love, you send back the rest. It's super easy.
Yep.
You can do it, and we are doing it because it's excellent. Personal styling for everyone. Get started today at stitchfix.com/STM. That's stitchfix.com/STM.
Now back to the show.
This message comes from Greenlight. Ready to start talking to your kids about financial literacy? Meet Greenlight, the debit card and money app that teaches kids and teens how to earn, save, spend wisely, and invest with your guardrails in place. With Greenlight, you can send money to kids quickly, set up chores, automate allowance, and keep an eye on your kids' spending with real-time notifications. Join millions of parents and kids building healthy financial habits together on Greenlight. Get started risk-free at greenlight.com/Wondery.
This week, in Red Wing, Minnesota, a rocky relationship leads to anger, STDs, and cold-blooded murder. Welcome to Small Town Murder. Hello, everybody, and welcome back to Small Town Murder.
Yay!
Yay, indeed, Jimmy. Yay, indeed. My name is James Pietragallo. I'm here with my co-host.
I am Jimmy Whisman.
Thank you again for joining us on another wild, rocky adventure known as Small Town Murder.
Yeah.
It's going to be a wild one this week, actually. This is a crazy episode.
Yeah.
This is just a bad person. It's one of these people where you're just like, yeah, we don't need that guy. I don't think, like, anywhere. Really, we could do without him, but we'll get to all that.
That intro was nuts.
And that's just the tip of the iceberg. I'm telling you right now.
What the fuck is going on?
It's going to be a crazy one, guys. Strap in there. And if you enjoyed last week's episode up in Vermont, which was crazy, I hope you got on iTunes and gave us 5 stars and said whatever the hell you want because it's not for our egos.
Montpelier, we know. Montpelier.
Yeah, Montpelier. Yeah, we said
Montpelier.
Yeah,
whatever.
Montpelier. Yeah, Montpelier.
I'll pronounce it wrong.
That's the capital of Vermont. But anyway, that's that. But thank you if you did do that. If not, please get on.
Tweets.
I know. Please go. Boy, I have the answer finally. And it's been a year of abuse, over a year of abuse. And I'm going to fucking lay into some shit tonight.
All right.
Because of you. Just give me a minute here and we'll get to that. But iTunes reviews, we were saying Apple Podcasts, do that. Get on there if you haven't done it yet. If you want to be a superstar, though, a hero of ours, one of our producers, you can do that very easily by going to Patreon.com/Smalltownmurder. patreon.com/crimeinsports. You can donate there or go over to PayPal and use our email address, which is crimeinsports@gmail.com. You could make a one-time donation there, or just head over to shutupandgivememurder.com for everything. You could, the links are to Donator there. The links to all the merch is there. T-shirts. There's new T-shirts up there. Super cool. One that's panhandle behavior with the element. That's really cool looking. The element of PB, panhandle behavior.
It's the element that makes a great story.
It's awesome. So that's a lot of fun. We have that, and also links to all of the live shows, the tickets to the live shows. Please get out there and buy your tickets to these live shows.
Houston, start this off right.
Yeah, Houston and Dallas, October, 5th and 6th.
Yeah.
Let's kick it off right with those.
Yeah.
I think we go to Portland and
Seattle.
Should we
just say the guest? The guest in Houston.
What the hell?
It's Mandy Malone.
Yes.
Come hang out with Mandy Malone.
If you're a Crime and Sports listener, you'll know who that is. She was a Crime and Sports subject who's really turned into kind of what could happen in a positive way for a Crime and Sports athlete. Yeah, she was. It's funny because out of 130 that we've done, like 2 of them were like, I really like this person. I kind of root for him. Twice it's happened, and she was one of them, and it actually things have worked out well for her, so we're happy.
To us.
Yeah, so she's very, very cool, and
she's willing to have a chat.
Absolutely. So all that aside, check out the tour dates. We're coming near you, as we know. Hopefully not too close to you, and that'll be gross. So we'll keep it in the general vicinity and all that. But we got to get to the disclaimer, Jimmy, because that's very important right now. This is a comedy podcast, and we need to tell people that up front. It is a comedy podcast. We're comedians. We're going to make jokes. The fact that it's a comedy podcast does not take away from the actual realness of the facts. Everything is real. Nothing's embellished for humor or
the best part.
It's all real, and we just we try to find humor in small towns because we all are from some sort of shitty place, and so why not make fun of that? If a police force let a murderer go for like 10 years for dicks, we're going to make fun of them for that. That's it. A murderer, we'll make fun of them. What the hell?
But the biggest dick of the story.
Always. But what we try to do, and we always try to do, is we do not make jokes, or we try not to make jokes at the expense of the victim or of the victim's family, because we're assholes, but we're not scumbags, and that's the truth right there. So that's how we try to do it. So if you're on board, excellent. You're in the car. We're on the way to the liquor store.
You're guilty too, fucker.
It's getting robbed. You're guilty. So no complaining from here on out. It's not that bad, we promise you. It's actually a good time. So let's get to it. I know what you're saying right now.
Please, James,
you got to shout it out from everywhere. Like we said, if you have some sort of corporate job, we get that. Go to a bathroom stall and quietly mumble it to yourself.
Put your hand over your mouth.
If you're in traffic, though, shout that shit out in your car. It's summer. Everybody's got their AC on.
Treat it like you're banging your boyfriend or girlfriend in the bedroom next to your parents.
There you go.
Cover your mouth and shout.
Shut up and give me murder. It is time.
Yeah.
Let's do this. Let's go on a trip, Jimmy. What do you say? You ready to roll? Let's do this. Let's go on a trip. We're going from Vermont, which was weird and cold, to Minnesota, which is weird and cold. So it's not that much of a, and it's very white and weird and cold. So
it's Vermont minus Maple.
It's true. Like we went, I'm like geographically we went over
hockey.
A lot, but really, but Minnesota though is kind of more civilization. Vermont is its own. It's almost its own country. It's almost like Texas of the North, like in its own way. It's just a weird place.
Minnesota's Vermont minus Maple plus tons of sports.
Yeah. Well, Vermont, they like their hockey, I think too. Yeah, it's cold.
Do they have a hockey?
Frozen.
They don't have a hockey team though.
Well, I mean, they don't have any team. Right. They have their biggest city has 40,000 people in it.
I'm sure they got minor league football or something.
I'm sure they got some horse shit up there. Oh, they do. Some poor bastards stationed up there
because the land's cheap. Some shit from Boston
rolled it out. They knocked a couple of maple trees down and put a field up.
Some Red Sox team is there.
So we're going all the way to Minnesota. Like I said, it's Red Wing, Minnesota. I can't mispronounce this one. Let me tell you, it's Red Wing. There's no other way to pronounce that thing, and we're going to talk about that for a second. It's in the southeastern part of Minnesota. The county that it's in is kind of on the Mississippi River. It's kind of near the Mississippi River. This town.
What's east of Minnesota?
The river and Wisconsin.
Yeah.
Okay. There's a river. There's lakes. There's Wisconsin. There's all sorts of shit there.
That's true.
Yeah. So all sorts of stuff there. No real panhandle present here.
No.
But panhandle behavior nonetheless. And we're going to introduce this week because If you're a Crime and Sports listener also, and we don't mean to bring that up again, but you should be listening to it because it's a goddamn funny show. You don't have to like sports. But anyway, that aside, what we have with that is kind of the same exact thing as panhandle behavior, and that's called junior behavior.
Yes, it is.
And this episode's got junior behavior in it, so that is equal to panhandle behavior. It's the same thing. You could be dead set in the middle of Nebraska in a square, rectangular county in a rectangular state, and it still could be a panhandle behavior if you're a junior. So that's how this works.
Isn't the east side of Minnesota like kind of like a panhandle league?
It shoots out a little. It's almost like it's like a foot kind of a thing, like a foot with a cast on it.
It's because of the river, right?
Yeah, it's the way it cuts there, so that's where your borders are. It's about 45 minutes outside, 45 to an hour outside of Minneapolis. So, but it's to the south, as we'll talk about.
Minneapolis is down there?
It's in the middle of the kind of the middle up to the eastern part of the eastern part of the state there.
I don't know geography.
Central. No. It's about 6 hours to Chicago. So if you live there, you could drive to our live show in Chicago. About 4 hours to 4.5 hours to Milwaukee. So you can get to all these places. Red Wing, it's connected by a bridge to Wisconsin that goes over the river, and it's about an hour 10 to Lino Lakes.
Oh,
you son of a bitch bastards. I got a message today. They just listened to that episode, and I just want to go, you know what? No,
late.
I don't care if it's Lino or it's not like it's pronounced. Okay, it's not like
Lino.
It's not like it's LINE-O when I said it's Lino. No, it's LINO, which could be fucking Lino very easily.
Could be Lino.
It could be. It could be a lot of things.
Maybe you're pronouncing it wrong.
You don't understand Minnesota, and I say this with no fear because our show there already sold out. So fuck you people. I don't care. We already have your money.
Don't
show up. We already have your money. We don't care. If we insult you, whatever. It doesn't matter. No, we can't wait to see you in Minnesota.
I dare you not to show up. Every last one.
You're only showing up because we're coming in the winter, and you guys will do anything inside in the winter. You're like, what, is there heat? Okay, we'll do it. Yeah, that's fine. I'll buy tickets. It's fine. You got to get out of the fucking house. It's dark at like 3:30. It's fuck. I can't take this anymore.
I can't believe the Wilds games are so packed. I'd be like, fuck you. It's cold outside.
That's what it is. You can sell out anything in Minnesota in December. I swear to God. We're going to go there and just do a puppet show, and it's going to sell out in January. No, I'm just kidding. But no other place. We've mispronounced names of towns, of like adjacent towns, and once in a while the town we're doing because they can't find a news broadcast where they mention the town's name because it's so small and insignificant. And like nobody else complains more than once or twice except for Lino Lakes, Minnesota. So I don't know what your pride in naming your fucking towns and lakes for that matter are, but calm the shit down. I've waited fucking 70 episodes to tell you that. Calm down, you son of a bitches. Relax. It's going to be cold in like a week. Fucking enjoy your lives for the love of God. Anyway,
Amber and Chelsea, who live up there, that snap me quite frequently. They'll send me because they think it's fucking hysterical. They'll just send me a street sign and be like, "Pronounce this," and I'm like, "Go fuck yourself."
Yeah, who cares? It's Minnesota. No, I'm just kidding. We're really bashing on Minnesota.
I'm not gonna try.
It's fun. And the funny thing is, too, I've been to Minneapolis. Probably the nicest people I've ever met in my life.
They're Minnesota nice, man.
God damn it, don't mispronounce it.
They're bringing a hot dish for us.
Probably.
Whatever the fuck that is.
Well, if there's weed in it, then I'm into it. So. Goodhue County, this town lies in. Goodhue, zip code 55066, area code 651. It's a big town, 41 square miles. 34 of it's on land. The rest is the river. So the riverfront that they sort of own. They actually do have a town motto. This town wants you to come visit. They're not fucking around.
Desperate.
They have their shit. No. They have their shit organized. They have all these parades and festivals and river this and river that and everything on the river. The motto of the town right on their website is, quote, "Come for a visit, stay for a lifetime." Oh boy. Which is pretty close to a bunch of other mottos we've had before, so it's not that original.
Could be a threat, could be we'll lock you up.
Yeah, I prefer this motto that I found on a separate website that wasn't affiliated with them. Quote, "Come for a visit after September, leave immediately," which I think is more accurate. That's probably better.
The actual slogan sounds like the tagline for like Black Snake Moan.
Yeah, I think that's a line in Hotel California, I believe. I'm not sure.
Come for a visit, we'll chain you to a radiator.
Yeah, it's going to happen. Come for a visit, gnaw your ankle off. Gnaw your foot off at the ankle to escape. Yay. This is great. History of this place here. It was named after a Dakota Sioux chief.
I was going to say, this is going to be very Native American.
Yeah, absolutely. Named Red Wing.
Right.
And he, that's the translated name. I'm not going to butcher these poor people's language and try to pronounce this name. But it means wing of the wild swan dyed red red.
Okay.
So Red Wing. Wing of the wild swan that's dyed red.
That we punished and dyed it
we
red.
dyed it red, and then we said, look what we did.
Right.
We fucking dominated nature.
But we crushed down
they'll dominate
some raspberries.
Yeah, they'll dominate that shit.
We
That's
sprayed it all over a beautiful
take that.
swan.
Well, we held it down, and imagine the scene it made. I don't think it took that peacefully. It was and squeaking, trying to bite people with its beak.
Meanwhile, there's hawks that are just as beautiful. Nature dyed it red.
Yeah, and well, good luck fucking dyeing one of those red. You'd have to kill it first.
It's already red. You don't have to.
I figure they picked a swan because it's a little
more docile.
It's a little more. Yeah, you can probably get it in a headlock before it really attack. Try that with shit with a hawk. Yeah. You're gonna get a chunk taken out of you.
Pretty easy to headlock one of those.
That's what I'm saying. Yeah, the Dakota Chiefs used the name Red Wing. Came from their use of a dyed swan's wing as the symbol of their rank. I guess how many wings you had. I guess that was like stripes.
Fascinating.
They're stripes. I guess this particular chief was an ally of the British soldiers in the War of 1812. So
that's awesome.
a foresight on his part there. Didn't work out too well.
That's the days he chose the wrong side.
Nope, not good there. Every single battle we do, the Native Americans always pick the wrong side.
Well, maybe that's why they lost.
That's why I feel bad. It's like, no, every time I read it, it's like, no, then this is going to happen and that's going to happen. Jesus Christ.
You don't trust Jackson? What are you doing?
Then again, if you teamed up with the Americans, they would have just used them for their fighting and then taken their land and put them on. So it doesn't matter. Either way, they were fucked.
And use them for their language in a war and then just cast them aside also.
Yeah. You know it. Now, during this guy's life, I guess there wasn't a lot of, there were only a couple of, white people basically hanging out in Minnesota at that time coming through, and they were mainly passing through. This Red Wing he seemed to be into the Americans. Like he liked the white people when they came in, and he'd work with them and trade with them and, did work with them when they came through to, get them through safely and tell them where to go. They like to trade with them, shit like that. But then the federal government, in their appreciation for all the help, established an Indian reservation in 1889 along the Mississippi River, quote, to free up land for new settlers. Translation, to steal people's land so we can move in there.
Thanks for your help. Enjoy the river.
That's, wow. I mean, that's, at least they got I'm sure they moved them away from the river once they realized that was valuable. They're like, oh, wait, no, you can't go down there.
That is the mighty Mississippi. We will take that, too.
There's got to be a flat, dry area where we can stick you guys, I'm sure. Yeah, right out there. That'll work. You see where all the wheat's dead?
Stay there.
See where the wheat's dead? Right. That's yours now.
We killed all the buffalo.
You can't have those at all. But, I mean, something will go. There's deer, I think. They come through once in a while. But don't go past there. If they run through, then they're done.
Then it's ours.
Once they're into the woods, that's our territory at that point. So, sorry. I guess the city of Red Wing developed around this community. In the 1850s, they had Mississippi River steamboats, so people came up there and they would find Red Wing and hang out and farm there. And I guess this is decent farm territory up there. Of course, all these people would then encroach on the native people's land because what the fuck? And so they'd get pushed away. They ended up, of course, they planted wheat because that's what white people do. They'll get there, steal your land and plant wheat on it. Like, we need this for wheat. Sorry. It
looks beautiful.
Yeah, we do.
It all looks like dead grass.
And who knew that these people, while they were brutalizing people to steal their land to plant wheat, that 200 years from then, half the children in America would not touch anything with that product anywhere fucking near. That would be poison. That would be poison to all of their ancestors. All of them.
That is hilarious.
I wonder if any Native Americans are allergic to gluten. I just wonder. Probably not. They're probably fine. They're like, we're fine with that fucking gluten.
We've been doing this for centuries.
Apparently, when you plant it, it gets in your bloodstream and shit happens. I don't know. It's fucked
Maybe
up.
It's that pigment in your skin.
Wheat has fucked so much
or
up.
Rather, lack of.
The Dust Bowl is because of wheat. That happened because of people were like, well, we got to plant more wheat. Like, that's how stupid wheat is. And now everyone's allergic to it, which they're not really allergic to it, I don't think. But it's a good excuse anyway.
Somebody does a joke.
Save your tweets of, I know you are. I know. You went to a doctor and they told you. We get it. We understand. Enjoy.
You went to a doctor who told you because he's paid by somebody else.
Who knows?
Who benefits from you not eating wheat?
We can't judge the wheat conspiracy. Right. We're not judging big wheat. We don't know.
I'm sure I'm allergic to it, and I don't care.
There's big wheat. I'm sure there's big oat out there. You got to look out for big oat, boy. And Cheerios, they come right
big
after.
Barley.
Big barley, when they're coming for you, boy. Big oat and big barley, that's man. In the 1800s, that was probably a thing.
Yeah.
Hey, man, big oat's pissed. You're like, no shit, really? Fuck, the oat conglomerate's mad at us? We got to fix that. Feel like the mafia being pissed off at you.
Can you imagine oats, like horses being allergic to oats now? Then everything's fucked.
Everything would fall
Cows are
apart.
allergic to corn and grass, obviously.
It's snowing in the summer. It's fucking raining in the winter. Cats and dogs living together in harmony. It's bedlam. It's chaos.
It's raining in the winter. Jesus.
Use a Ghostbusters sermon there. But anyway, wheat, I guess, would pay for everything. They would clear for wheat, and they would actually make money on it every year. So
it's on the back of our penny, for fuck's sake.
Yeah, that's true. They were very into wheat. In 1873, Red Wing led the country in the amount of wheat sold by farmers.
Wow.
The warehouses in the port of Red Wing could store and export more than 1 million bushels of wheat.
How much is in a bushel?
I have no fucking idea how much 1 million bushels is. They could have said that in pounds or kilograms or something we could relate to.
Is it like, because
just
every time
tassel at the end of a stick? I don't know.
That's the only time I've ever seen a bushel of wheat is when it's like 3 pieces
Or is it like
together.
a shitload of it packed together, like a bushel of whatever the fuck?
Is it like a bale of hay, that kind of a bushel? It could be a lot.
Seems like a lot of wheat, probably. I assume it's not just like a shed with some wheat in it, probably. It's probably a lot of wheat. So then the railroads came. And once the railroads came, then things started to pick up, obviously, as they always do. The Aurora Ski Club in Red Wing was founded in 1887. It was one of the first ski clubs in North America.
Yeah.
And all the Scandinavian immigrants in the area were dominating that shit.
I'm sure.
Like, seriously, the members they had their own ski style called Red Wing style.
Oh my
that
God.
Apparently, like, this was in the 1800s, apparently lasted like into the 1900s even, as a style of skiing that they fucking like developed on their own.
And the first douche is born.
The first douche is born. And some of them were the first American ski jumping record was set by a Norwegian immigrant named
Buffy.
This douche Mikjel Hemestveit. So yeah,
I'm sure that's Mikhail.
Mikkjel.
Who gives a fuck?
That's what I mean.
I don't want to know how to pronounce that. Ever. I will instantly be douchey just by knowing that.
Yeah, I don't even need to know it. If I pronounced it right, I apologize. Right.
And he's probably the heir to Swiss Miss
something.
Coco.
Yeah, he owns that little girl.
Yeah,
and her marshmallows. He owns that little girl, Jimmy. This guy had a 37-foot flight, and that was the record. Which I'm sure is
37 feet
nothing now. The guys go like, I don't know how far, but really far.
3,700 feet.
It's really far. It
like
seems
a quarter of a mile.
It seems like New York to Boston, basically. They're flying. I know when they go fly through. I don't know. It's really like a commuter flight.
37 feet.
It's 37 feet.
These guys fall that far.
Yeah, they were like high-fiving each other, awkwardly because they're Norwegian and they don't know how to do it, and it was all fucked up.
They're the whitest of the white.
Yeah, you know that happened there. Some of the industries here first of all, also the immigrants were German, Irish, Norwegian, and Swedish. So
my Christ,
white,
Minnesota.
white, and whiter. It's the whitest fucking people they could find.
This is amazing.
Yeah, they had industries were tanning, shoemaking.
I got it.
Yeah,
tanning leather.
Yeah, not getting tanner. That would be a bad industry for Swedes and Norwegians. They wouldn't work out very well.
That would be amazing.
They'd get fired by lunch.
Yeah.
You're like, look at you, you're bright red. You're terrible at this. Get the fuck out of here. Who hired fucking Sven over here? Who hired this guy? Sven's terrible. He's fucking shit canned. He's gone.
I just saw a bunch of super white people laying in tanning beds.
Yeah, being like, this is an industry. To have tan white people. That's an industry.
They began what Jersey now perfected.
That's exactly right. That's exactly right. Jesus Christ.
What the fuck am I doing?
I don't know. I don't know what I'm doing.
Unbelievable.
So I guess while they also had bricks, barrels, boats, furniture, pottery, and buttons.
Yeah.
They made beer and lumber. They did stone cutting. A lot of shit was going on in there. It was bubbling, this whole place.
It's very ski resort centered too. On it's just
it is
rich people shit.
That's kind of like that here.
It's the finer things in life.
Sort of, yeah, but also shit that you need. You know what I mean? back then, pottery and you needed that shit.
I picture all this stuff being like the best.
I don't know how fancy it was. Yeah, it's probably just. It could, and who knows? Though, it could be low end. It could be like fucking IKEA shit. There, you got to put it together. Just making parts of those things.
It is that center part of the world.
We don't know how good those buttons were. Yeah. They could have been terrible. Pop right off your shirt. Don't hold the.
Well, that's all the installation.
Yeah,
right?
I was going to say I don't really know how a button could be, but as long as it's circular,
as long as it's solid and
holds its shape, I think you're good there.
And fits through the hole on the other end.
That's a problem when that doesn't work. When you got to get a pair of scissors out and try to make it work.
Cut the hole bigger.
I got that in a pair of jeans one time. I'm like, what are you fucking kidding me? This isn't working.
How am I going to get this through?
Jesus Christ.
And it's button fly. There's fucking 6 of these.
Never mind. My cock is going to hang out all the time. I don't even care. Yeah, the buttons are too small. Sorry.
I don't know what to tell you.
Officer, they're too small. You try and button it and hold your arms up.
I'm
Go
sorry
ahead.
the dick's bigger than the button.
Go ahead, button it. So they had the Red Wing Potteries.
Yeah.
This was a company founded in 1878 and was apparently a big source of employment in this place. It was a popular pottery company. I don't know what the fuck they made pottery. It's better. Then I guess the Pottery Barn came in, wiped them out. The factory closed in 1967. So that kind of
wasn't that great.
Apparently it wasn't. That. It was good for a while, and then it wasn't. They built a Prairie Island nuclear plant in 73.
Or maybe those pots just kept reminding them, by the way, we stole this from Native Americans.
Yeah, that's true.
And now we're using the shit that they make, and we're creating that also.
We'll do that. They also make Red Wing shoes there. I guess
is that what it's from?
They're from there. They manufacture them there. They make Riedel ice and roller skates, which they're going to make something for fucking hockey there. There's a casino there, Treasure Island Resort and Casino, operated by the Native Americans there. They have sister cities, Ikata, Japan. Kyushu, China. I'm not pronouncing that right.
In China.
There's Asia, a sister city. Really? Yeah. 2 of them in Asia. And then Kongsberg, Norway, because they really need to connect with the white people and make it whiter.
Can you tell me what a sister city is? Because I have no fucking idea.
I have no clue.
How does a sister city get to be in a different country?
They each have a sign in each other's city. That's all it is. Because Scottsdale, I've seen, has a sister city of some other horse shit. Yeah, some in Europe or something. They all do that. It's some publicity shit. I don't know what they're doing. I have a resident review of this town, which are always my favorite. This review, and there's a lot of reviews of this town, a lot of back and forth. Like the likes and dislikes of the comments on it were like more than I've ever seen. Usually it's like 2. This was like 75 likes, 35 don't like it. I'm like,
you get to dispute the review?
Yeah, this is a...
What the fuck?
This one basically encapsulates pretty much what most people say. Quote, very stagnant town is the title of it. Red Wing is a pretty town along the river. It does have some nice things outsiders need to be aware of if you take the plunge. The town is old, capital letters, as in the citizens. If you're looking for a 20 to 30-year-old youthful vibe, you will find nothing like that in Red Wing. Sure, there is the Sheridan Theater, a movie theater. That's your culture. The mall, if you can call it that, has about a dozen stores. It's pretty sad. And finally, the jobs. No jobs. As the manufacturing has dried up in Red Wing, so have the jobs. No more Jostens, Pirelli, Tannery. Even Red Wing Shoe has had some tough times. I'm sure Walmart is hiring, but hard to raise a family on that. If you're a skilled worker planning on commuting an hour north every day for a real job, maybe. So, yeah.
That guy, that was clearly a dude.
That's
the first thing out of the gate was couldn't get laid. You know,
if you're looking for chicks, not gonna fucking happen.
They
first
are
of all.
old as fuck. And then how skilled is he that he can make a tire for Pirelli?
He doesn't care.
Can make a ring for Jostens.
He's apparently
this guy is fucking well rounded.
He knows what he's doing.
You could be the CEO of fucking Walmart, sir.
Yeah, this guy. I think he's wasting his time. Really, he needs to go somewhere else. I think this guy. You know what you need to do? Take yourself to New York City.
Yeah.
Take your pretty little self to Broadway, and you show us what you got. You let it all hang out, sister.
You'll find it there, sir.
That's right.
All of it.
People in this town, population 16,445. So mid-sized little small town, up 9% since 1990. It's had this just kind of steady climb of population since the 1850. Like no boom, no bust, just a couple thousand more every 5 years. I guess there's people being born, and the old people never die.
I'm blown away. Somebody created a shoe factory here and then named it Red Wing, and I didn't even even know that there was a town this.
That's,
and I've heard those shoes since I was a kid.
The commercials, there's commercials for them and shit.
It's the best work boot on the planet.
Apparently so. That's what they tell me anyway.
Yeah, it is.
Median age in this town is about 5 years higher than the normal median age. It's 42.8 here, so it's an older town. Male-female population is exactly normal. A few more females than males. Married population's right about there too. Most of the stats are pretty normal. Like everything is in the range of average, except for married, no children, which is higher than normal, which is usually old people. Yeah, that's usually their thing.
But
there.
They are old. That guy was right.
They're old. Yeah, the stats tell a story of old in this town, is what I'm saying. Race in this town, 90.30% white.
That's a lot.
So pretty fucking white. 1.89% black. Yeah. Probably a few members of the Twins, possibly the Timberwolves, maybe live out there. I don't know who else lives in Minnesota.
The majority of the Timberwolves are white fucking dudes.
That's true. They're European guys and shit. 0.48% Asian. 2.5% Native American, which is very high for normal, for regular. 3.64% Hispanic. So it's pretty fucking white. Is basically it. 66% of people here are religious.
Wow.
So busting out the religion in this town. Yeah. Not a lot of Baptists though. We're in the north, obviously. Lutheran. This is Lutheran territory. Right. This is reminding me of Drop Dead Gorgeous a lot. Obviously, where everything was the Lutheran this and the women's Lutheran gun club and all that shit. So that makes a lot of sense. I see Kirstie Alley with her fucking obnoxious accent. God, I love that movie.
One of the only people on Twitter that has me blocked.
To Kirstie Alley? Well, I'm sure you said something she deserved. But she's a pain in the ass. Yeah. Something Scientology based, I hope.
It was.
If you're going to get blocked, do it for the right reasons. I hope it was science. So you didn't call her fat, did you, Jimmy?
Super hacky. And
fat. Come on, Jimmy. That's fucking weak. She's a Scientologist.
Yeah, I know.
She could have a horn coming out of her head, and that would be the second weirdest thing about her. Yeah. The first being Scientology. If you're a Scientologist, I don't apologize. You're insane.
I think it was something about Fat Tuesday landing on National Women's Day, and I said it just reminded me that Kirstie Alley. A cunt.
Oh God! Well,
actually, I said fat
she is a bad person though. She said some horrible things about people if they don't like Scientology and shit like that. She's
just a terrible person.
She's been not a good person, but I'm sure some people like her. So we'll get off that.
Her and John Travolta.
That's together exactly. 1.1% LDS in this town. 0.0% Jewish. Yeah. How do you have 16,500 people and no Jewish people? Right. Like that's insane. I'm sorry.
The Lutherans get rid of them.
I feel like that. I'm from New York. That blows me away that there's no Jewish people there. And 0.0% Islam, obviously, also because it's Minnesota. About 47% Democrat, 50% Republican here. So Minnesota's a blue state too. So that's they go independent. They elected Jesse Ventura fucking governor. So
what the fuck?
It's a weird place. Unemployment rate's actually low here. It's about 4%. So lower, but so is the household income, which is about $48,000, which is $5,000 less than the below the normal there. When we look at this, the overall, the cost of living here is actually lower than normal. 100 is normal, whatever, par. Yeah, it's 92. Wait till you hear the housing. 92 is the overall cost of living. Housing is 75,
how about that? Which
isn't too shabby at all. It's $183,400 is the median home cost.
Minnesota's a great place to live.
Not bad under there. The houses here, a lot of houses between $100,000 and $200,000. Over 50% of the houses. And if we've convinced you that you want to freeze your ass off and come see us in December there, well, your tickets are sold out, but come to the Puppet Show in January. If we've convinced you, then we have for you the Red Wing Minnesota Real Estate Report. I found a 2-bedroom house, apartment, whatever. Your average rental of a 2-bedroom is about $1,170, which is below average the country. I found houses here that were such good prices. I found a 2-bedroom, 1-bath, 936 square foot house. It's a small little house. It says it has a 3-season wood stove. I don't know what a 3-season wood stove is.
Which season doesn't it work
I don't know which one. Summer it's not for. You don't need it then. It says, quote, ready for your updates. So I feel like it needs some work.
You can get it to the 4th season.
But $125,000 for this, so that's not bad. I found a 3-bedroom, 2-bath, 1,575 square foot house. It's like a little outdated, but it's not. You could live in it. It's not terrible. $110,000.
Yeah.
That's insanely reasonable. You could put a family in that.
Why the 4th season doesn't work.
It's hot.
It's right. It's a heating stove, not a cooking stove.
Not a cooking stove. Yeah, there you go.
I'm like, why are they starving for a season?
Just we're going to starve, man.
We're using the
hibernating.
microwave. We're having 2-minute pizza pockets.
Found a 6-bedroom, 3-bath, 3,561 square foot place.
Holy shit!
259,125,000. It's nice. It's gorgeous. This place
for almost 4,000 square feet, still under
300 grand. I found beautiful homes.
Unbelievable.
That's that. Things to do. River City Days is their big thing. River City Days is a big festival. They said they have a wide variety of entertainment options. They have crowd favorites such as the Fabulous Armadillos coming, which I have no idea what that is. I hope that's a band of actual armadillos performing circus tricks, because that would be fucking awesome.
I want it to be unbelievably
I would
homosexual
go there.
man.
Oh, that'd be even better. We're the Fabulous Armadillos, everybody.
We're fabulous as fuck.
We're gonna walk the river and you're gonna fucking love it. And they just strut and they're like, I don't know what's going on here.
Watch us all ball up.
I think the gays are here, but they ain't bothering nobody. Minnesota, they're so nice. They'd be like, well, they don't seem to be bothering anybody, and they just let it go because they're not that bad. Yeah,
they call them armadillos. They can blow
It'd be nice
themselves.
to them, which would be good. They said, come down to the big entertainment tent, which is, ooh, baby. Highlights are the Tacos and Tiaras event on Thursdays, pickleball games, which cost $5 a person to enter, and the Polka Dots are playing, which is an old-timey polka band on Friday.
Clever.
Crime in this town.
This is the oldest shit ever. That's
this is for old people. This is definitely for old. The Polka Dots are playing, everyone.
The Senior Center Olympics.
Besides the Fabulous Armadillos. I don't know if the old people are going to like them.
They are not going to be happy.
They're going to be the highlight of the show, I'll tell you that much. Crime rate. This is weird.
I don't see any Lutherans being uber progressive.
No, probably not, but they're so passive-aggressive they won't actually say anything. They'll talk about it later, like not even in the car on the way home. When they get home and get in their bedroom and lock the door and the kids are in bed, they'll discuss it, but they wouldn't be like, hey, get them gays out of here. They just look at them and, okay.
Pretty sure them boys was gay.
They'd offer them hot dish, it's how it works. Crime rate, property crime is actually above average in this town, which is strange because violent crime, murder, rape, robbery, assault, the Mount Rushmore of crime, is actually less than half the national average. It's almost like a third of the national average.
They won't rape you.
So they won't rape or kill you, apparently.
They'll take your camera.
They'll steal your shit. Lock your windows, roll them up, lock them down. But other than that, you're fine.
Take dick pics and put it back.
Yeah, unless you're a couple people here in this town, and then it's a different story. A couple other people we'll talk about who did have a problem with violent crime in this town. First, let's talk about William J. and this last name, boy, Auchampach.
What?
Auchampach?
I think so.
Junior.
Yeah.
He's a fucking junior. Now, I said I'd explain this further. In Crime and Sports, we've had 130 episodes. Probably 90 to 100 of them have some junior connection. Right. Either the athlete himself is a junior, which happens so often.
So frequent.
Or they have named their son something junior, which happens also. And that either way, that I don't know what it is about the ego of doing that, it makes you an idiot and you end up doing things, or maybe once you do that, you set into motion some cosmic, ball rolling down a hill that causes crime. I have no idea.
It influences something in the universe that creates just awful.
But it creates junior behavior, and we always say that, and it is the exact same thing as panhandle behavior. Doesn't matter the race, the location, none of that shit matters. They could be Jewish and from Brooklyn, and they could have panhandle behavior.
Shit's coming.
Fucking junior behavior doesn't matter. So they wouldn't be Jewish from Red Wing, though, as we found out earlier. But this William J. Auchampach Jr., we'll just call him William. Billy Jr., let's call him. Let's just call him Junior. Junior here, he talk about him, and he meets up with a woman named, I guess, Dailene, Dailene.
Yep.
Dailene, I'm going to say.
Could be Dailene.
Dailene or Dailene. Don't tweet me about it, Minnesota, but I'm going to go with Dailene.
Is her last name Auchampach?
Her last name is Counts, which I know that's. There's no other, unless it's Cayunts or some shit like that, or just if it's cunts. Yeah, I don't know what it is. Whatever, but we're going to call her Counts and assume that's correct.
Okay.
Although the ground is always shifting under me in Minnesota. She's born, both of them.
That river is just eroding the bedrock of integrity from everybody.
The fabulous armadillos, like the water's running up farther up the shore. Fellas, this
Everybody
way, up
run.
the shore. Sorry.
Like me, put your hands out.
Yeah.
Break your wrist.
And don't
down
give
a
me
bit.
shit about the voice, okay? That doesn't have to be a gay guy.
Right.
I know straight guys who talk like
That's
that.
on you
If you interpret that as a gay, that particular character that happens to be gay has that voice, and like you've never heard that voice before, so shut up. Anyway, moving on. And it's fucking pretty good, and you know it. That's the other thing. It's not too fucking shabby. It's less offensive if it's accurate.
Yeah,
that's what I've always found. So. You know what I mean? Always.
That's what it is.
It has to be accurate. There's no arguing it. What are you going to say? That's not how I sound. Yes, it is. It's exactly not every obviously,
get your hands
but
off your hips.
Yeah. Sorry, but you know, I don't give a fuck.
Right.
I have zero whatever. I don't care, but I find that, you know, that's funny.
Generally, the joke
armadillos.
has to be funnier or more accurate than it is offensive.
That's what it is.
And you've nailed both.
There you go. Fuck it. This is the fabulous armadillos. What do you want from me? So they hook up. They're both. We're gonna go back to 1991. Let's go back in time when they meet. We're flying through time. I see flannel and shit like that. Kurt Cobain is still alive.
Yeah.
We just found out that Milli Vanilli didn't sing.
Oh, those bastards!
This was a tough time for the
bastards.
Tough time for the country. 91.
They fucked us over.
Oh boy, the economy was in the shitter in 91. 91 was a rough day. The Yankees were in like last fucking place like every year.
The worst music ever.
Yeah, young James was in a bad place at this point in time. Not good at all.
The cult of personality surprised us all because we had a black lead. That was weird.
In Living Color.
Where'd he come from?
Well, look at that. Good stuff. Right. Very nice.
That was weird. I heard it on the radio. I was like, this guy's great.
They're like Popular Fishbone. That's what radio friendly Fishbone. That's what I always called them when I was a kid. Anyway, they hook up. They're both about 21 years old at this point in time, so they're young people. They hook up with each other in 1991. In April of 1991, to be very specific, because we need to be specific, because in a 2-year period, so much crazy shit happens that you need dates to keep it straight, or else you don't know what the hell's going on. But they immediately start a romantic relationship. Yeah. And both of them seem like they are a bit flighty in the romance department, where they dive into relationships. It seems like, from the background I found on both of them, that's what it seems like.
Big flame. It's not like a spark fizzle.
No, it's you're either you don't like someone or you're in love with them and they're the person. They're the one every time. You know, it's that person. We all know those people. But I mean, by all accounts, nothing. Daleen seems like a nice person, everybody says, and whatever. Ockenpock, not so much. We'll talk about him. Billy Jr. we'll talk about. Not so much here. Now, Daleen also has some. She's got a rough go of it for a 21-year-old. Yeah. She's 21 years old. She already has 2 children from a previous marriage, a 3-year-old and a 1-year-old from a previous marriage. So she got pregnant young and probably married the guy. And
she's my mom, essentially.
Yeah, and then was like, "What the fuck am I doing marrying this asshole? I don't like him just because he knocked me up a couple of times. Doesn't mean that we're meant to be together because his sperm fertilizes something. That doesn't make it fucking that we're a match made in heaven just."
My
because
mom,
the biology
if she
works.
To this is screaming, "Samesy, James,
yeah, it's what happens. We've all been there. I think half the children in the world probably have come from that. So but a 3-year-old and a 1-year-old she has at the time they get together. They move in together and then move out and then move in and move out, and they're this relationship from go is just a mess in terms of stability wise. There is no stability. I'm sure a lot of people's first marriage probably, and second, and possibly third. As we've talked about.
So far, my mom's story.
It's like Betty Lou Beats, except like Betty Lou Beats was like 6 times. This is like the same exact story otherwise. Hey, everybody, just going to take a quick break from the show to tell you a little bit about Leesa Mattresses.
Leesa.com.
Leesa. Leesa.com. Do you find yourself distracted and forgetting things? Maybe you're screwing up at work? You know what can help that, Jimmy? What? A quality night's sleep makes all the difference. The right mattress is the difference between resting and just laying down. Yeah. That's the truth, because I sleep poorly, but I sleep wonderfully since I've got my Leesa mattress. And that's a fact. I'm a bad sleeper, and this mattress has really, really helped my night's sleep. It's so important, and I just love it. My kids have Leesa mattresses now. It's fantastic. The right mattress is the Leesa mattress. The Leesa mattress is the product of more than 30 years of experience in mattress engineering and hundreds of hours of testing, comprised of 3 foam layers that provide cooling, pressure relief, body contouring, and support. The Leesa mattress is the best mattress at the best value. Over 300,000 happy Leesa sleepers that agree the Leesa mattress gives them the rest they need. Yeah. Order your Leesa mattress online at leesa.com/small. That's LEESA.com/small, and try it risk-free for 100 nights. It ships to your door in a convenient box with free shipping and returns just in case it's wrong. Buy Leesa for a fraction of the cost of the traditional mattresses. Find the right mattress for you at leesa.com/small and get the rest you need tonight.
You're going to love it.
You're going to love it. Don't miss Leesa's limited time Labor Day sale. Get up to $235 off and free shipping on the Leesa mattress at leesa.com/small. That's LEESA.com/small.
LEESA.com/small. Get in there and get your good night's sleep. Sleep like me and James. And now back to the show.
If you like this show, then you must check out The Adam Carolla Show every weekday on Podcast One. The Ace Man still holds the title of the #1 daily downloaded podcast in the world as he complains about whatever's on his mind with all of his celebrity pals like Dr. Drew Pinsky, Joe Coy, and many, including
you,
us,
me,
you too, Jimmy. We've been on there.
You sang Taboo too.
I did. We're included in Celebrity Pals. How do you like that? And many more. I think that's us. Many more. So don't miss it. Weekdays on Podcast One or wherever you get your favorite podcasts. Now, this seems like a relationship right away that, it's not the most stable. Yeah. Like we've talked about, there's a lot of issues, and he's not mature, and she's got children to think about, and
that's all she's thinking.
And that's
about,
probably it's all she probably has time for too. But she's also dealing with this asshole, and they live together on and off, which means that there's kids with people coming in and out, and he's coming or she's moving or. Right. There's some instability in this for everybody. Then she becomes pregnant in September of 1991.
Same story.
Yeah, so it does not take her long. 6 months.
Fucking crazy.
Yeah. It doesn't end exactly the same. Okay. I know, because I know.
Obviously,
I know your mother's story.
She's doing great.
She's doing fantastic. She's like she does very well for herself. And this
man's in a car dealership. Yeah, she's killing it.
She's doing great. Like a nice cars too, not like a fucking Hyundai or something. Not
fucking caddies.
Not a Kia.
No.
So she becomes pregnant in September of 1991. Yeah. Which is you can tell that's going to be trouble right away when you're only with someone 5 months and you're already moving in and out and all this shit. First of all, if you are moving in already after 5 months, that's
already a red flag.
That's pretty quick. Yeah. And then if you're moving in and out again after 5 months, that's really out there.
If your stuff is moving in and out of their house more than his dick is moving in and out of you,
if your stuff has never been out of boxes for the last 6 months, that's probably an issue, and you should look at your life and check it out.
If you get ready for work out of a box that says work clothes, it's a problem.
That's an issue. Yeah, Red Wing work clothes here. So that's something. She, like I said, she's pregnant, and now there's a woman here that this is when trouble starts right from the start. I mean, like we said, we're 5 months into this relationship. Yeah. It's brand new, basically.
If you
6,
I was just gonna Jeff Foxworthy's spousal abuse jokes.
It's kind of what we're dealing with here.
If your eyes match your black shoes, you might be in a domestic violence relationship.
You might be in a panhandle.
If you
might be married to a junior.
If you've told people you've fallen downstairs. Go on.
When you haven't fallen downstairs. Jeff Foxworthy's not funny either, so don't worry about it. It's better than anything fucking Jeff Foxworthy ever told. It's all right, Jimmy. That's literally better than any joke Jeff Foxworthy ever fucking told. You nailed it.
Used stairs as an excuse for bruises, and there are no stairs in your house.
You might be a sad person that's actually recognizing this joke, and that's
your
sad
life
for everybody.
might be as sad as a man whose career fucking took off.
Yeah, well, fuck, he's got millions of dollars. Unlike Daleen, who's stuck with this jackass, this poor woman here. There's a woman who Daleen, who Counts had stayed with a few times on and off through this whole thing. She would come and go as things would fall apart with this relationship. She says that she saw a slap mark on Daleen's face during the time that she was dating him, and they were going in and out before she was pregnant. She said that Counts told her that Billy Jr. had slapped her in the face. And she said, "What happened to your face? It looks like somebody slapped you." And she said, "They fucking did. Fucking Billy Jr. Who the hell else do you think slapped me?" Shit. Yeah, that's nothing so far. I mean, he's this guy, Junior, just exemplifying Junior behavior here, just the pinnacle of it. January 4th of 1992, they have a pre-birth custody evaluation because yes, this is
kids not even born.
Well, there's legal trust. Well, we'll see. There's all sorts of legal interventions, and the kid's not even born yet, but they're figuring out when it pops out who's taking it the fuck home, which I guess is better to figure out now rather than when it pops out and they have a fight over it in the maternity ward. Probably.
I like that the courts are deciding and betting on this kid's going to survive this fucking pregnancy.
That's the other thing. That's who knows amazing. Here. So during this, Counts tells the evaluator that William often slapped her and her two children that aren't even fucking his. You shouldn't hit your own kids, never mind other people's. Right. Jesus Christ. She also says that Billy Jr. there hit her while she was pregnant, which she still is. Right. Frequently ripped items off the wall and threw them. He's just rages. He'll rip shit off the wall and throw it across the room and smash pictures and, go off into huge, scary rages, which is just what you want around your children. You want unstable people who go into uncontrollable rages out of the clear blue sky. That's the best people to have around your kids.
Meanwhile, we've said it a lot that if you're in this relationship, get out as the lady.
Yeah.
Let's stop giving them the advice. If you're the dude in this relationship, dude, you're a fucking piece of shit.
Well, yeah, I think we all know that. Out. We all know that, and I think
you can't be in a relationship. You fucking jerk.
I don't think us telling them that is going to make it, because the fact is that I think everything on earth is telling them that they're a piece of shit, including the fact that they hide that they're beating their fucking woman up. That's the thing. Right. Most of the time, they're not dragging them out in the middle of the street. No. It's not like that old thing where there was a law down south somewhere where this was a true thing in the town. No, where you were allowed to slap your wife
as long as you did it in front of
as long as you did it on the courthouse steps.
Wow.
So if this was like a real rule, like you could take your wife to the courthouse steps and you could slap her there, because then you're under scrutiny.
Right.
Then it's like, why are you hitting your wife? Right. And you'd have to have a pretty good fucking reason for it, or else everybody thinks you're an asshole.
Or it's like she can't go accusing you of doing extra things because we watched what he did.
It has to be like a weird, which is the weirdest, craziest shit in the world. But people have no fucking shame. Yeah. This guy, by the way, has no moral compass, no thought of, there's nothing to this guy that makes him a fucking human being. So if there are people that can be reached, maybe, but when we're dealing with people like this, us saying, this guy's a jerk, get out. Like, he's evil, this motherfucker. Like, and normally we hide it and we fucking, we hide who's evil and shit like that. He's the evil one, I'll tell you now. Spoiler alert. He's an asshole.
The guy beating the shit out of his pregnant wife.
Well, you never know.
Girlfriend.
Some of them, maybe she killed him. Yeah. Who the fuck knows? And that could happen here. But he's definitely the asshole.
Or one of the kids stepped up and was like, enough of this
That
shit.
would be great.
Wouldn't it be
I would love that story. I'm going to find a story like that.
I wish I would have done it.
A child who murders for good reason.
Yeah.
So, Counts also tells this woman that Billy Jr. here became more abusive with her once she became pregnant.
Oh boy.
So that's nice. He was abusive, but then once she became pregnant, then he really started
now
with
she's a step slower.
Exactly. That's all it was. She's less quick.
Yeah.
She's less agile. She doesn't have that crossover like she used to.
That spin move is non-existent.
No, it doesn't work anymore. Finally, this daughter's born April 11th, 1992. This poor little girl is brought into this mess here. Now, also in 1992, I don't know, maybe to celebrate the birth of his daughter, because sometimes you want to go out. The people do that. Their kid will be born. They'll go out, take people out, buy drinks for everybody, and smoke cigars and do all of that. Or there's other ways of doing it. If you're a junior, then you do it in a different way, in a panhandle kind of way. You celebrate by getting arrested for assaulting a police officer. I feel like so that's how you celebrate right there. He serves 80 days in jail for that, and is released on probation after that because
it was a girl and he had to just punch everything blue.
Yeah, he just saw something and just started punching
everything blue. I'm beating the shit out of it.
I'm just punching it. Yeah, I don't care. What color are the Timberwolves uniforms? Right. Those Twins 80s road uniforms were awfully blue. Or the home ones, whatever, like the V-necks. They were that baby blue. I'd have knocked Kirby Puckett right on his fat ass. I'll tell you that right now. So that Kent Herbeck ain't got a guy. Okay, never mind. So
Warren Moon better thank Christ they're purple.
Fucking son bitch. So
blue and red make purple. I'll knock Warren Moon the fuck out.
Warren Moon beat the shit out of his wife.
That's true.
He absolutely did.
That is true.
The same year he won Man of the Year in the NFL, Amazing. Which is hilarious. I think it was after he did it. After he won Man of the Year. Anyway, while he's serving this 80-day sentence for fucking assaulting a police officer like a complete idiot, that's never okay either. Right. Two people that you shouldn't hit, women and cops. Don't hit either one of those because society judges you for that. Right. They just do. It's just one of those fucking things. Sorry.
And oftentimes a man in a robe and a powdered wig will judge you too.
Yeah, lots of that's, I mean, societies who is assigned to judge you will judge you, like professionally for a living, judge you, not just like behind your back whispering. Guy who gets paid for it, has a nice house, sends his kids to college. That guy or lady,
based on your judgment.
Yes, based on the judgment. But while he's in jail, Daleen hooks up with another guy.
Oh shit!
So as you can imagine, this isn't going to go over well. Probably
he had 80 days
with him. 80 days, less than 3 months, and she finds another dude to hook up with, and he is not fucking happy about this at all. He's awfully pissed off. Once he gets out of jail, September of 1992, she files for an order of protection against him.
Okay, so it wasn't like she like hooked up with a guy and then didn't tell. She told him through paperwork. And shit.
It's an order of this was he got out, found out, and was abusive to her. So she filed an order of protection and a petition for child support. Also,
these two are fire.
While you're at they've been together a year and a half. Think about all this shit we've talked about. A year and a half.
A child involved.
I know people who've been married for 30 years and have done. You couldn't put this over 30 years. None of this is besides the child being born. The rest of it didn't happen in 30 years. What's happened in a year and a half?
Amazing.
It's fucking nuts. I mean, through horrible tragedies and stressors of life and bankruptcies and shit. These people, a year and a half, they can't make it. Well, it's not these people. This asshole, a year and a half, can't go without being an abusive fucking cock. So this is an affidavit and a petition in support for an order of protection. It asserts that Billy Jr. here was physically and emotionally abusive toward her, but that's September 21st, 92. By September 29th, 92, she files an order to dismiss the petition. She changes her mind. So I mean, they go week to week with this. He beats her up. She files a thing. They make up. She pulls it back. He moves back in. He beats her up. He leaves. It's a cycle.
This is where my mom and hers lives, the parallels stop.
Yeah.
We have begun a branch away from each other.
Yeah,
now.
This is fuck, man.
My mom is on a different trajectory, and this lady is going down a terrible path. And
I feel so bad for her, too, because she is goddamn 23 years old. Imagine being 23 years old, not having a lot of money, having if she had like $10 million in the bank, she'd just be like, fuck this guy, I'm taking the kids to Bermuda for a fucking month and everything's going to be fine. Or whatever, I'll hire a lawyer, I'll hire security to take him out of my house. You can do anything if you have money. If you don't have money and you don't have connections and you don't have a family that's financially supportive or whatever like that, you're alone, you have 3 kids and you're 22, that's got to be I can't imagine the stress that has to be on a person. That has to be insane.
Yeah, you have to actually pull out the yellow pages and find the shelter.
Especially in 1992.
Right. There's no dog pile yet.
You can't Google it. Yeah, there's the helplines are very few and far between. And this guy's a fucking lunatic. You never know what's going to happen. You're afraid for you. You're afraid for your kids. Right. You're afraid for everybody. And where are you going to run to? I don't know. This is just a very scary situation.
Terrific.
Late December 1992, the baby is 8 8 months old at this point. They have another custody evaluation. In this evaluation, counts here, Daleen tells the evaluator that a week before this, on December 21st, 1992, Billy Jr. had hit her in the back, punched her in the back, then threw a full can at her, which is vicious.
Like a beer can?
Yeah, beer. She didn't specify exactly, but I'm assuming it's
a coffee can.
I'm assuming it's maybe a Schaefer.
Yeah.
I don't know, hams up in that neck of the woods. I don't know what they're drinking up.
Canned ham?
Canned hams, possibly. Are they drinking up there?
Oh, I thought
that's
you meant
what
like a big tin
No,
can.
not a canned ham. A can of hams, a shitty beer from the Midwest.
Okay.
I believe Hams is from up in that, but I could be totally
Right.
wrong. Minnesota, send me your shitty local beer, not your microbrew,
Right.
your Schaefer,
Right.
your fucking
PBR.
Genesee
Right.
Pale Ale, your shit PBR, your local regional shitty swill that your teenagers drink in the woods and then throw up in the morning. Tell us that.
It's Busch Light.
It's something, yeah. So she says that he threw a can at her and then put her in a chokehold. All this because she refused to have sex with him.
Wow.
I can't imagine why she wouldn't want to have sex with this guy. I mean, what couldn't she be attracted to about
hot.
a complete piece of shit that beats her up and fucking scares her children and hits them? And why wouldn't you? I can't imagine it. She told this is, you know what? I never say this. This is on her.
Right.
I mean, obviously, he's a very attractive, virile man.
Right.
I would have sex with him. What a fucking asshole. I hate this fucking asshole already.
Isn't that how you get blowjobs off of Tinder? Is just kind of throw shit at them?
I think that's probably
basically
part of their profile.
Digitally throwing a dick pic at somebody is hitting them with the beer can.
I think so, but I think actually in their profile they say like to be hit with beer cans too, some of these people on there. So December 28th, 1992, after speaking to the evaluator, Counts obtains a restraining order against him again. He also seeks and obtains a restraining order against her on the same day. So this is his new strategy. Like, I'm afraid of her too.
Yeah.
Even though I've been beating her and hitting her and pushing her and fucking while she's pregnant and hitting her kids and smashing her with Hams cans, even though I did all of that, she's frightening me. As a result, so they ended up having order that was to both of them. It restrained each of them from committing acts of domestic abuse against each other, which you should not need an order for.
It's just too much.
That's all it is. It's her saying, well, I'll say it too this time. That'll muddy the waters. January 7th, 1993, 9 days later, 10 days later, not
right
long,
now.
right fucking now. This is what I mean. This is all in less than 2 years. This has all happened. Think about that. This is
a fucking fiery relationship.
This is as fiery as you get.
When they're good, though, James.
Oh, I'm sure.
Holy shit.
Oh, they probably had amazing sex at one point in the beginning.
The ceiling has jizz
and
on it.
they're still chasing that dragon every time she goes back and every time he goes. Well, I don't think maybe that's her motivation.
There are jizz stalagmites in their fucking in their trailer.
When it was good that 2 days in the beginning, like the 3 times they had sex when they weren't harboring hatred, when she wasn't frightened of him, you know what I mean?
You said their sex is heroin.
Yeah, chasing the dragon. That's what
I just caught it right
really?
now.
That's good. Well, it was a minute and a half ago.
It was a Hail Mary that I was running
pitch.
for.
It was an Ephus pitch. I threw
There's
it
a
up
whole
there.
bunch of guys in that end zone.
It's a knuckler. You were waiting
leaped
for
up
it.
and grabbed
That's a good catch. It was like Flutie
go,
throwing in the
Aaron
end zone
Rodgers.
there. That wasn't bad. The 85 fucking Orange Bowl.
You went Flutie, I went Rodgers. That was nice.
I went it's my favorite bomb in the history of football. Because he threw that thing like he had no idea. He's 5'8" and he just threw it looking the other direction. Just, I don't care. And it somehow came down in somebody's hands.
He
That's
was
amazing.
resigned to losing. He was like, yeah, fuck it.
Fuck it. He threw it literally as far as he could with no discernible target in mind. Just, I hope that reaches the end zone.
Yeah.
So, January 7th, Doug Flutie's over. It's a very odd scene. They don't know why.
He screamed Flutie Flakes and everything.
Flutie Flakes. He was bringing over a sample of Flutie Flakes for the kids. Doug Flutie's a tiny football player, if you don't know.
Had no business being a fucking quarterback.
But he was a great quarterback.
He was good
It's
at
super
it.
weird. Very weird. This day, there's a call to police from their neighbor.
Yeah.
So now other people are getting involved. That's when that shit starts spilling no. Minnesota, people mind their own fucking business for the most. Like we said, they'll turn and tell somebody, but they're not going to confront anything. Right. When you call the cops in Minnesota because you've had enough, you're fucking serious. They've really been loud. She makes a complaint to the Red Wing Police Department because she could hear Billy Jr. and Counts arguing all day. She testified all day, an all-day argument. She says that she heard something being smashed against the wall that separated her apartment from their apartment. Wow. So right next door, you're just hearing all day arguing, something smashing against the wall. Like that's
hot dish explodes.
Hot dish, that's all it was. Fuck, is that hot dish? Or damn it, that could have been delicious.
They're wasting hot dish. It's serious.
Shit, God, now I can tell it's serious. Yeah, her mom gave her that when she stopped by the house last time.
There
told
was
her to take it home with her.
I heard it.
I heard it. There's cheese on the wall. I know it. I'm going in there. So during the argument, this neighbor heard Billy Jr. make many, many abusive comments to Daylene, including, quote, "I'm going to get you, bitch," which is pretty damning.
Yeah.
It's not good.
It's also very...
well, if I say it like that, if I said it in a mean way, it wouldn't have been funny. You wouldn't have laughed. If I said it like he said it, probably. But when you say it like a television announcer...
It's very 12 Angry Men.
Yeah,
you know
when you say it
mean?
like you're announcing a character, "I'm going to get you, bitch." It's a different... See? This is why. This is what we try to do. Right. It doesn't make it any less horrible what happens, but rather than saying, he said, "I'm going to get you, bitch," and rather than make it like, oh, let's try to fucking, take some of the air out of it so we can...
pitchforks and tiki torches away.
Yeah, so we can let's take a breath and, whatever. We're not trying to make light of the situation, but we're trying to get through the situation without being completely uncomfortable, because this makes me fucking uncomfortable. It really does.
Furious.
I know we've both been around this type of shit, and it makes me very uncomfortable, and I don't like it. She also heard him say a little more specific this time, because "I'm going to get you, bitch" could mean a lot of things.
I mean, that could be in the middle of sex.
Yeah, this is less. Well, this could be in the middle of sex too. Quote, "I'm going to smash you."
Yeah,
which I mean, not in '93 though. I don't think that was a term.
That's a lot of text messaging.
And then, if you want to get even more specific, one could be playful. "I'm going to get you, bitch." They're playing tag. Who knows? One can be, that could be sexual, but this third one, this, now what it means. It is, quote, "I'm going to beat the shit out of you."
Okay.
At that point, you go, oh, yeah, they're not fucking.
They're for sure fighting.
This is fighting. This woman is in danger. Yeah. Let me call the police.
There are
and
3 children there.
Thankfully, she calls 911.
Okay.
Thank fuck. So he ends up going to jail for violating the protective order that was out 10 days ago.
Right.
And she hasn't pulled back yet, thankfully. He's in jail in the Goodhue County Jail for violating this restraining order. And a fellow inmate's talking to him. Oh, and this guy's such a fucking asshole. You know he's going to brag about beating up his fucking girlfriend because he's a piece of shit. Have you ever known anybody who was abusive to women and bragged about it? Have you ever known anybody like that?
No.
I knew one guy like that.
Really?
Yes, actually. Absolutely. I worked with him a long time ago at a job. And he wouldn't say like, "I beat the shit out of my wife," but he would say like... It was so fucking weird. He would allude to like just making her do things that were not. I was like
against her will.
I was like 18 at the time, and this dude was like 45. And I worked on like it was like a shipping and receiving loading dock and shit with like a bunch of old dudes and. I just was like, I didn't get it, man. And I was like 18, so I didn't know. Like, I was like, was this like what marriage is like? Like, the people fucking, maybe that's what they do. Like, I didn't know any better.
Love each other.
Yeah, like, I didn't know to be like, dude, fuck, you're a scumbag, motherfucker. Like, he made it almost sound like it was like cool. Like, it was so weird. Like, to him, like, he was like, "I'm cool because I do that." Like, it was so fucking weird. Well, I was so uncomfortable. I like would never like want to work with this guy. Just if there was a truck, I'd be, "I have to take a shit." Yeah, like, I'm getting out of here.
Maybe that's why he has the same career as an 18-year-old.
That's true. Yeah, I worked there for like 6 months, and he was like, the head of the crew there, but he made like $1 more an hour than me. It was quite sad.
Also understand
that's what happens to guys who beat the shit out of their wives. They should only make $1 more an hour than an 18-year-old.
He's not telling somebody that's his peer. He's telling somebody much younger.
Well, he was telling
like
the other guys, and they were like okay with it, and I was just like there, and I was just like, I don't want to hang out here anymore, and I ended up leaving that job because I didn't fit in.
The closest I've heard to anything like that is if you hit a man, you deserve to be hit like a man. I don't know if that's true.
No, I don't think that's right, but yeah, that's one of those things. Like, I don't know if that guy's just saying that because he saw it on a bumper sticker one time and thought it was fucking clever. You know what I mean?
Yeah, she deserves it.
That's right. Right.
Not really.
No, I'm going to go with no on that one, actually. I'm going to go with you're a scumbag.
Right. I mean, if she's beating the living shit out of you and you have to maybe to do something back, but...
If she is a weapon, if your life is in danger.
But if she daintily...
If
like
she's,
tags you in the shoulder, you're going to turn around and flatten her?
I don't
really,
think
bro?
that's really fair.
Is that what you're going to do?
I don't think that's really fair at all. You know what I mean?
No.
And then hopefully she'll be like fucking Mandy Malone and kick you in the face at that point. Have like
knock the living fuck out of you.
Be able to throw her foot above your head and kick you in the fucking head. And you're like, holy shit.
I deserved that.
Yeah, that's what we like. That's what we needed. That's what we need is like a Malone squad.
Yeah.
I'll just send her around to talk to assholes like this. She's like 5'2", $120, going, you got a problem, motherfucker? And would whoop this guy's ass in 2 seconds.
Just super
It'd be
Malone.
great. Yeah, we need a whole squad of these people. That's what we need. So that's what we need, a Malone squad.
Yeah.
She's coming to get you.
Somebody shine the footlight or whatever the fuck it is.
That's it. And she comes kicking balls. So this inmate, he's talking to this inmate, and he had also been jailed for violating a restraining order. Yeah. So, birds of a feather there. Red feather, birds of a red feather stick together, I guess, here. He said that Billy Jr. told this inmate that he knew it wasn't Counts that called the cops on him about the violation because he told Counts that he would, quote, do her in if she ever reported him again.
Wow.
Do her in.
And she believes me. So
and she believes me,
right.
So she's not calling. So the inmate, obviously, the inmate told on the guy and said that he took the do her in to mean kill, which I would agree, I think. It seems right. I don't see what else it would be.
It's generally where that goes.
I don't think he's buying her flowers. That means I'm going to do her in. It's going to be the best bouquet you ever fucking saw, buddy. Every goddamn color rose in the fucking rainbow. It's going to be 6 dozen. I'm going to have it split into 2, 3 dozen bunches. I'm going to have one delivered to her office because that way all the other girls can see it. She can feel good about herself. You know what I mean? Then she'll go home with the thing. She'll be feeling good and open the door. There's going to be another one sitting right there, buddy. I tell you what, she's going to be like, oh my God, my whole house already smell like roses. It's going to be the best day ever. No, that's not what the fuck happened. Kill is what she meant.
Do
what
her
meant.
in
Kill.
on Family Feud right after Richard Dawson spreads mono and herpes.
Yeah, absolutely.
What does do her in mean?
We'll get to the STDs.
Kill. Ding. Number one. You get a pass or play.
Oh boy. Yeah, let's pass on that one. Let's say here. So that's not good.
No.
Do her in. Mm-hmm. Another time, a friend of Count's says later on that she saw Billy Jr. drag her by the hair, drag Counts by the hair, and be very abusive with her while they were arguing at a bar.
Oh my God.
So this is even in public. He grabbed her by the fucking hair and dragged her over to argue with her more, which is insane. And I don't know how nobody fucking broke a pool cue over his head. Because if I'm in a bar and I see that, I'm going to fucking punch that guy.
This is stopping now.
That something's happening.
Yeah.
You're going to get 3 other guys and go, look at this, and you're going to go over and pound the piss out of that guy. What's going on here, pal? Like that's never going to fly. I would hope anyway in a civilized world.
The best case scenario is it's a hidden camera show, and I'm gonna be like, oh
shit! As I'm about to drill this guy in the ear hole.
Crazy.
I don't have to deafen this man with a punch to his ear. Shit,
that's a great idea.
I was going to bust his eardrum. I guess I don't have to.
This was beautiful.
This is great. Thanks. You're a good actress. I really thought you were in trouble. Let me tell you something. Oh, is that you? Yeah, I did see you on that show on the WB. You were very good. The show was terrible, but you were excellent.
I can't believe you didn't get a daytime Emmy.
Oh my God. So, this is fucking nuts. So by March of 1993, they're completely apart. The relationship is over. They live apart and they say they're done, and they say they've been done for like a month and they haven't gone back together with each other. None of this is happening. Somehow, I don't know how in the world this happened. I don't know if he scared her into this, if she was so in such a terrible mental place that she allowed this to happen, or if somehow the worst court judgment ever happened, but he ended up with custody of their daughter.
What the fuck?
This man ended up with custody of a female, small human being. Who would give... I wouldn't let this guy fucking take a kid to Chuck E. Cheese, never mind live with them.
Without supervision.
Without a lot of supervision.
Right.
Yeah, I want people I want trained people, I want armed people, I want tasers. I want it to be like he's a zoo animal.
I want somebody with like glasses and a notepad writing stuff down.
With a lab coat, and then somebody armed also
and
next
judging.
to him, telling them when to go in and take care of business. But apparently...
You only give him $2 for the token.
Let's zap him.
We'll write that down.
So, I think that's big. You're a terrible father. So this I can't imagine what could. The only thing I can think is maybe he scared her into it, possibly, and
She
told
just
her,
signed it over.
Yeah, made her feel so bad about herself. Also, maybe that she thought she couldn't take care of the kid because he might have told her that she was who the fuck knows what this asshole did to this poor woman. In 2 years, you can really damage somebody, and
I mean,
especially like this
physically.
And these are only the things that came to light that were seen by other people and that were noted by the police. So imagine how many incidents, how many nights this guy flew off the handle and did God knows what, and nobody ever found out about it. Nobody ever reported it. That's the thing. Every incident you see, there's 20 more that don't fucking happen, and that goes for all of this type of thing. It's fucking frightening. So, God, I guess try to Jesus. It's terrible.
I'm thinking the worst though. Like, how many times was she? I mean, you have to assume she was definitely raped by him.
I'm sure.
If he's throwing beer cans at her 'cause she won't do it willingly.
I'm sure he was. Yeah, this guy has no. There's no limits to this fucking guy. So he lives with. So he's got the daughter. The only contact that they really have together, Daleen and Billy Jr. here, is when she has visitations with the daughter. Yeah. She visits the daughter at his place, which is weird because he lives with his parents. Yeah. So I think maybe that's what it is too.
Feels safe.
Well, she probably had an apartment. I know she has an apartment with 2 other kids, and he lives with his parents, and there's no kids. So maybe that was the situation where my house is better. There's room there. Right. Who the fuck knows what it was?
The grandparents are there.
The grandparents are there, which made it say, that might have made her feel, even though they created this fucking monster. So God knows what happened there.
How's their relationship?
Let's see. I'd like to. That dad's probably a fucking peach. So March 17th,
raised a man.
Yeah, raised a real fucking solid citizen here. March 17th, 1993. He pleads guilty to violating a restraining order filed by her. Cool. So it's been a couple months. I mean, who goes 2 months without violating a restraining order? I mean, I would be like checking my watch, like, have I done? That's what I forgot to do. Shit, it's been over 2 months. I'm way off schedule here. I'm
really bad at this. I still have yet to get
I gotta
one.
violate that. I mean, I know no one has restraining orders against me. I would be on schedule too with violating them. I'd be right there.
I'm unrestrained as fuck right now.
That's the problem. Jesus Christ. Hey everybody, just going to take a quick break from the show to tell you a little bit more about Blue Apron.
BlueApron.com.
Blue Apron delivers farm fresh ingredients and step-by-step recipes to your door. Yes. Blue Apron's mission is to make incredible home cooking accessible to everyone, even you.
Yeah.
Blue Apron achieves this by supporting a more sustainable food system, setting the highest standards for ingredients, and building a community of home chefs. And we're telling you, we both get Blue Apron. We have for a long time. It's delicious. Me and Sarah make Blue Apron together. Now I know you make it with your kids, and it's so much fun because you can teach them stuff, and it has the step-by-step instructions. Yeah. You can really have a good time with this, whether you're by yourself sitting there or with your family. Yeah. Even if you're by yourself, it's a great thing to know how to make these dishes.
And you learn a new recipe, and then you get it stuck in your head, and then
it's
you can
make
it later too.
Absolutely, and these are terrific recipes that anybody can make step-by-step. Everything is measured out exactly what you need. You cannot beat it. You choose your chef design recipes. They deliver the fresh, seasonally inspired ingredients, and you cook incredible meals in as little as 20 minutes.
Easy.
That is as easy as it comes. It is so fantastic. Quick and easy recipe options, insanely delicious flavors, crispy chicken tenders and mashed potatoes on the menu right now, pasta and creamy tomato sauce.
Heck yeah.
That sounds delicious. It's all good, and you can get this right now. Check out this week's menu and get your first 3 meals free at blueapron.com/small. That's blueapron.com/small to get your first 3 meals free. Blue Apron, a better way to cook.
blueapron.com/small and get your first 3 meals free. And now back to the show.
Hey everybody, just going to take a quick break from the show to tell you about one of our favorite sponsors, MedMen.
MedMen.com.
MedMen is the premier cannabis company in the U.S. with recreational and medical retail locations throughout Southern California. Their main goal is to mainstream the cannabis industry and to empower people to exercise their right to purchase cannabis however they want. And this is the best way to do it, to come into a MedMen establishment. It's a high-quality, high-end shopping experience. These people are knowledgeable. You're looking for an indica to go to bed. You're looking for a sativa for daytime stuff to run around your house cleaning. These guys got it covered. They know the difference between the live resin and the hash oil and the this and the that.
Beautiful flower.
They're going to the flower. They're going to tell you all about it. Today's cannabis consumers are everywhere and everyone. So it's time to drop the labels. At MedMen, you're an executive, a teacher, a parent. You're a customer. That's what you are here. You're a customer, and they treat you as such. It's really fantastic. I've been to these places. It's an amazing variety of everything from flour to lotions, vape pens, edibles, bath bombs, over 1,000 products in store.
Yeah.
It's really awesome. They have everything. It's an entirely new shopping experience. It has touch screens that allow you to view in-depth product information and red-shirted staff so you can see them. That's incredibly knowledgeable, like we said, and they're going to tell you everything you need to know, any questions you might have. It's the most quality marijuana you're going to find out there. Check out one of their 14 retail locations throughout Los Angeles, Orange County, and San Diego, or just go to medmen.com to find your nearest store. Now, exclusively for our listeners, visit any MedMen and mention the Small Town Murder Podcast at checkout and get $10 off your order. Limit 1 per customer. Terms and conditions may apply. Check out MedMen today.
Medmen.com. Get the nearest one to you and go mention us and get $10 off your order. And now back to the show.
March 19th, 1993, 2 days after he pleads guilty to violating the restraining order, he leaves his parents' house in Red Wing, where he and his daughter were living, obviously. He's going to go out to dinner. With him, leaving the house, is his daughter, his parents, and a friend of his named Jay Lampman. This guy's going to be with him kind of on and off the rest of the night. They're going out to dinner together. On the way, they drive to Count's apartment and leave the daughter with her for a weekend visit. So daughter's with her for the weekend. He's going off to party with his parents and this Jay Lampman guy to eat dinner and live it up. So this is going well for him. What a night ahead of him.
His wingman to pick up chicks and
in
beat
front of his mom.
Holy shit out of him.
Beat the holy shit out of him in front of his mom, hopefully. Fingers crossed. So that's a good boy. That's how we taught him. He's a nice Lutheran boy.
Did you see his cross, Ed?
That was pretty good. See, he used his backhand like we told him. That's right. It hurts worse. So
you call that a paintbrush,
come
Ed?
on, Ed. Jesus. So they drop the daughter off here. When they drop the daughter off, they go into the apartment, or just Billy Jr. and the daughter go into the apartment. They don't bring the whole clown car in there with them. Bring mom and dad and Jay Lampman and all these people.
Drop off a baby.
Yeah, so Counts was there. Also there was her friend Catherine Weddle, and also Counts' other 2 children were also there. They're 5 years old and 3 years old at this point.
Good God.
So there's 2 kids, her and her friend are all hanging out over there, and they drop the baby off, who's like 11 months old at this point, I believe. 11, born in April, so 11 months old, and this is what's going on. Counts asks, this is insane, Counts asks Billy Jr. to step into a bedroom to talk. So they're in there for about 15 to 20 minutes talking, okay? This is, I don't know why. It makes sense. She has to tell him something, but I don't know why she'd want to be anywhere alone in a room with this guy at all. So they're in there. During this conversation, apparently Counts told Billy Jr. that she had contracted chlamydia.
Oh no.
Okay, so now we're entering chlamydia into this cocktail. God. This is any cocktail. Once you add chlamydia, that's a bad ingredient, and it really befoul the whole thing. It's really going to be a rough cocktail at that point.
God.
This is not going to turn out well.
Yeah.
So she says she'd contracted chlamydia and suggested that he himself get tested for chlamydia. Why don't you should probably get tested for that? Wow.
I'm so glad I've never had any conversation anywhere near that.
Come in the bedroom for a minute. He probably thought, I bet she wants to fuck me.
Yeah.
And then she was like, I have chlamydia. You should get tested, which is the opposite of I want to fuck you. That's the
I'm
opposite.
not fucking for quite some time.
What's the opposite of I want to fuck you? I have chlamydia and you should get tested. That's the opposite.
And you might too.
That's the answer, everyone, right there in the $25,000 fucking STD pyramid.
Horrible conversation.
It's the worst game show ever. So, she says he should get tested. He then says, this is what he claims. He claims that she said after that, quote, "Good luck finding a girlfriend now." Okay.
She said that?
That's what he says. Okay. He says she said that. Okay. The friend didn't hear that. That's what he says.
What do you say when a girl says that to you? Because I'm a sicko and I might go, let me see.
Yeah. What do you got?
What's it look like?
What am I going to have going on here in a minute? What do you have?
Because if I Google it, I'm going to see the extreme cases. I don't want to see that.
You don't want me to think that's what's going on in there, do you?
I just want to see whatever your mild case is now.
So he becomes very angry.
Yeah.
This is the only time in the entire episode where I'm like, that's reasonable. Yeah. The only time I've ever with this entire guy where he got very angry, but he didn't do anything. He just stormed out of the house.
Yeah.
Perfect response to that. Right. That's exactly what he should have done. Don't do anything crazy. Don't stand there and yell at her. Don't fucking hit her. Right. Storm out of the house. But I agree with this behavior. Yeah. I'm fine with that. I can't say I wouldn't do the same thing.
Yeah.
Fine.
Why are you fucking unprotected and me? What are you doing?
What's happening out there? Problem is he didn't stick with that behavior because he returns a minute later.
Oh, no.
So he leaves for a moment. Now, mind you, his parents are outside now. So he leaves, goes outside. I don't know if he told them, she gave me fucking chlamydia, and then turned around and went back in, or what the fuck the deal was.
Also, he may not even have it.
That's the other thing. He hasn't even been tested yet here. So a moment later, he returns, according to that Weddle lady, screaming at Counts and asking her for a small amount of money that she apparently owed him. Okay. Now, I don't know when it went from chlamydia to you owe me $50,
right.
But those are very different. Yeah. Those are very different emotions. I'm mad at you for the possible STD you've inflicted on me. Right. By the way, where's that $50 you owe me? Because that's what I'm really mad about.
I have to pay for a test now. I'm going to need that money back.
I suppose Counts refused to pay.
Yeah.
Now, I don't know about this. Like I said, I'm on her side through this entire thing. If you give someone chlamydia and you owe him $50, right. Pay him back the $50. That's the least you can do after you
pay up quick.
Then again, he kind of deserves chlamydia. Like I've never really
You're
rooted.
Not wrong.
I've never wanted someone to have chlamydia, but I kind of want him to have it.
I'd like to see him in discomfort.
And whatever's worse. Let's give him syphilis. What do you say? Do we have any of those experiments still going on? Because this guy's a perfect fucking candidate.
It's just a shot that fixes it. So it's
that's
like
the thing.
Whatever.
He's freaking out. Right. I don't know what he's
probably had
it
before. Too.
I'm sure. Yeah. He apparently keeps screaming at her and screaming at her and saying that he owed her money, or she owed him money, and she refused to pay again. So then he yells, and this is his Jesus Christ, this is his coup de grace here. Yeah. His quote, "I'm surprised you didn't give me AIDS." And then he stomped out in anger and left the daughter behind, though. Didn't pick up the daughter.
That's his mic drop.
That's his mic drop. I'm surprised you didn't give me AIDS. And then he stomps out of the room.
Well, don't be so surprised, because she got you anyway.
Yeah, she got you, maybe. You never know. So he is pissed. Okay. He gets back to the car with his parents and his friend there, and he's not in the mood to go out and have he's not in the mood to go to the Sizzler now and, get those tacos with the corn and the meat for some reason that they had in the 90s there.
It's TikTok to pussy dick.
Yeah, he's not happy.
It could be real bad here real quick.
Yeah, he's got a lot on his mind.
He could be in the middle of one of those surf and turf that's just shrimp and sirloin.
That's the other problem too, is that, chlamydia is kind of an appetite suppressant if you think you have it, I think. Not the actual disease, the mental anguish of possibly having it is an appetite suppressant, I'm going to go with.
You get halfway through dipping your sirloin in the ketchup, and then your dick just starts burning.
Which you'd have to do with a Sizzler steak, probably, because it'd be a quarter of an inch thin and burnt to a crisp. So he decides he doesn't want to go out to dinner anymore, and he instead asks his parents to take him to a liquor store to buy beer, which is the opposite of going out to dinner with your parents. So his parents are like, okay, they've dealt with it. If he's flying into rages all the time, they know what he's like. Right. They're like, let's just do what he wants. Get him liquor. It's fine.
And Dad's like, his dick's gonna sting, babe.
Yeah,
let's beer him up.
We don't know if he told them why he's upset, or if he just said he's got problems with her, or if he said she fucking gave me chlamydia right when he came out, or if he was saying, I'm surprised you didn't give me AIDS, as he was like on the front porch so everyone could hear. I'm not sure.
Getting in the back seat of the sedan.
Yeah. So
what do you mean by that, son?
Yeah.
Dad.
Never mind, Dad.
Remember the war, Dad?
Remember when you were young? Do you
remember when they would clap? Do you remember,
you
Dad?
remember that? You know what I'm saying, right? Okay, then. Wink, wink.
That's where I'm at, Dad.
The mother's like, I don't understand, dear. I'm like, you shouldn't understand. So they stop at the liquor store. He buys a bunch of beer. Then his parents drive them. They drive Lampman and Billy Jr. here to Lampman's house, where they drank beer and played cards. So very exciting night. This is what people did before there was any sort of streaming video or anything like that. They said, "Want to drink beer and play cards?" He's like, "All right," and that's what they did.
And is it Friday night? It is Friday night.
This is Friday night. They were going out to dinner. That didn't take place.
Offices are closed.
Everything's closed.
Right.
Yeah, they're really not going to. But he finds it the next day. We'll find out here. So they go there. They drink beer. They play cards. While they're there, Billy Jr. here tells Lampman, just out of the playing cards or drinking beer, and he goes, "I'm going to kill her." He's like, I'm going to kill her.
That's
he's like, I've been thinking about it. And he's like, this is getting too much for me. I really should kill her. I mean, I've been looking on my list of things to do. And I went to the grocery store and I did this and I dropped the kids off and I paid the water bill like I'm supposed to. And there's a glaring, just a hole in this saying, kill that bitch that I got to do it. I don't know what it is.
Is Lampman on the other side of the table going, this is his way of bluffing me? I see it.
I see it. He's got a good fucking hand right now and he don't want to let me know it. So he's like, I'm going to kill my girlfriend. Like that's what everybody does when they got a good hand. No, I think Lampman was just trying to, like I said, Lampman's his friend. He knows him.
Yeah.
This is the guy that flies off the handle, and he's fucking, he gets in an argument with a guy at a bar, and then he goes home, and he's like, I'm going to go back there and shoot everybody in that fucking place. And you're like, yeah, man, you should do that. Yeah, I know what you mean, buddy. And then you have 2 beers, you play a game of fucking Sega Genesis or 1993, game of Kings in the Corners, and you're ready to go.
Or it's the opposite, where you've seen him drag her across
you're just like, oh no.
Right.
Yeah. Either way, I feel like he's just trying to let's just drink beer and play cards, and then it'll go away. You know what I mean? Like he'll cool off.
He saw him drag her across the crowded cricket by the hair.
Yeah.
And at that point, I'd be like, I don't know. He did that shit in public. He might kill her.
Well, then I could see you could ignore it the first time. Well, then he says he's going to fuck her up. At one point, I really got to fuck her up. And then later on, he says he's going to, quote, finish her. So maybe they were playing Mortal Kombat on Sega Genesis. So he said he's going to finish her at that point, which none of these things are. I'm going to kill her, I'm going to fuck her up and finish her. All bad to hear. Eventually, these two, Lampman and Billy Jr. here, decide to leave Lampman's house to go to a party at the apartment of Jerry Lewis. Not that Jerry Lewis.
Right.
Imagine that if it was like fucking, at that point, 75-year-old Jerry Lewis, fresh from an MDA telethon, just being like, everybody come to my house and watch me be not funny and exhaust everybody with my antics.
Or it's Jerry Lee Lewis playing a fiery piano while getting a blowjob from a cousin.
15-year-old cousin, from an underage cousin. No. Fuck this Jerry Lewis just going, Robin Williams stole it all from me.
Right.
I was annoying way before he was annoying. Way before. No idea.
Well, you should have had your gangster-ass co-host kill everybody then. You fuck.
No shit.
You blew it,
you
you big-headed fuck.
Yeah, big bad. No shit. Release your Holocaust movie. I want to see you at your worst.
He's dead now,
Look
right?
that up. I think he died.
Yeah.
He's a dick. No one. Jerry Lewis was an asshole to
Did
a lot
his
of
head
people.
finally explode?
I think that's what happened. Like a ripe melon. Yeah. There were seeds in it. So they decide to leave to go to. Now this is amazing. This guy, this Jerry Lewis. Think about this confidence that this man has. Okay, he has a party. Okay. Yeah. Now, first of all, you shouldn't have parties in apartments, number one, unless you live in Manhattan or somewhere where there's no other domiciles. You know what I mean? Even then, get a fucking brownstone if you want to have a party, unless you have like a big, nice apartment.
Right.
Otherwise, fuck you.
You're an asshole.
Yeah. If you live in an 800 square foot apartment, don't have a party.
You don't
be an asshole.
Over.
No, don't do one person at a time.
One
that's it.
person. And that's the one you fucking send home.
And then send them home, and then you can have a friend over, and then when they leave, the girl comes back or the guy comes back or whatever. This guy not only is in an apartment, he lives at the Red Wing Motel. So he lives at the shit hotel in town, and he's like, Party time, baby. Let's have, so you know this is a white trash affair.
It's a motel in the first place, and it's a motel named after the
that's
town.
The one. So that means it's the most rundown, old, shitty one that's been there
it's
for.
The
it's
first
terrible.
One.
Yeah, it's a people live there. They don't just stay there. This is like where Woody Harrelson in Kingpin lives. Where he has to fuck his landlord for rent money. This is where that is, I feel like.
I don't even know if he really fucked her, if he just went down on her.
I think he went down. No, he said, no, I think he actually fucked her too. She said he really jarred something loose there, Ty. So I feel like he was pounding on it at that point. I feel like he was
What is
giving
it about
the business.
Good sex that makes you have to poop?
Makes you have to crap.
Crap.
Because she says it with that accent, too. That Western Pennsylvania, peel the paint off the walls, crap. Makes you have to crap. Scranton, baby.
God, Jesus,
she's gross. A good actress.
She is.
That lady's not gross in real life, and she doesn't talk like that. She's in something about Mary, too. She plays Magda.
Yeah.
She's great at playing a lunatic.
Yeah.
So they go to the Red Wing Motel to go to Jerry Lewis's MDA party-a-thon, I guess. Before they leave, Billy Jr. asks Lampman if he has a knife that he could have, which that's not necessary to go to the party. The Red Wing Motel is a very nice establishment. Jerry Lewis is a nice young man. You're just raising money for the kids. I don't get it here. So Lampman tells Billy Jr. that he did not know whether there was any knives in the house. That right there, that tells you that he didn't want this guy to do anything that he's doing, and he's afraid of him, and he doesn't want him to have. I don't know if there's any. I don't keep knives in my home. I don't cut things or meat or food
it's
or
very
anything.
Rare that I eat anything that requires a knife.
Imagine, I've never met anybody who doesn't have a knife in their house at all. Have you?
I know your family. They fucking get knives at steakhouses.
Yeah,
and carry
take
them
home. I don't care. Yeah,
that's the craziest thing that's ever happened to me in my entire life.
Yeah, that's fucking hilarious. Who was that did that?
It's your cousin in New York.
Yeah.
He fucking pulls out. I got this blade. What do you have that for? And he's like, "This is the best knife in the world. Do you know that?
Yeah.
It's the best steak. I don't listen. I'm fucking so frightened right now,
dude. Everybody back home carries some sort of weird weapon. I used to too. I used to have like 3 box cutters on me at all times, like the orange ones that you click up. I'd have like 3 of those on me at all. So you never know. And then I knew kids that just carried around hammers. Just a fucking New York. The hammer was like a weapon of choice. Kids that carried screwdrivers and hammers, because then they in their mind, if the cops stopped them and searched them, they could bullshit their way out of that. Like they were going to go do construction work with a hammer that was down their pants, hooked onto their belt loop and down their pants. Come on,
like a claw hammer
like
or a ball
fucking claw hammer. Guys would carry around because if any shit popped off, you whip out a hammer.
That's dangerous.
You're fucking. That's it's on. So
business.
that's it. But that's what it was. So,
or a giant ass steak knife. Like
or a giant a big steak knife. I know guys who carry huge screwdrivers around with them, like a huge flathead screwdriver. I'm like, what are you doing? The Phillips head is much better to penetrate. So never mind.
What happened to the Jets and the Sharks days, man? Get a switchblade.
Jeez, no. These were the switchblade. The cops will say you have a knife. Okay. This in your mind, you're like, I'm doing construction. Right. Yeah, okay. Just you have one tool. Right. You're dressed like a fucking thug. You have one tool, and you're with 8 other guys, and everyone has blunts in their hand.
I'm
you're all
doing
Ruth's
construction. Chris, you don't understand.
I'm going to cut up a nice steak.
The best steak knife.
I carry my own. That's how it is. We all did it.
What the fuck?
So he said that I don't know if we have any knives in the house. Knives? Who keeps utensils in their home? That's crazy. What are you talking about? Knives? No, I don't have anything. I don't even keep that. I don't eat. Do you eat food? I don't eat food. I don't eat in the house. There's no food in the house. So instead, Billy Jr. goes into the kitchen, and he goes into the kitchen, and at this point, Lampman heard a drawer open. But he says he never saw Billy Jr. with a knife. But he went in the drawer where the utensils are, so he can assume he probably grabbed a knife out of there.
It's shopped?
Yeah, and when he opened the drawer, he saw like 5 steak knives in there. He's probably thinking, you don't know if you have a fucking knife in the house. Right. Guy's lucky he didn't get stabbed. So they end up, they leave the house, and they walk to the party, which is pretty close by. It's all in this little town. Mm-hmm. They walk to the party. They only stay about 15 or 20 minutes. Mm-hmm. While they're at the party, Billy Jr. can't shut the fuck up about Counts. He can't shut up about Daleen and how he's mad at her and he wants to kill her. And he's at a party just spewing this. Wow. A juvenile female who was at the party, under 18, so we don't have her name here. Right. She said she overheard him say, quote, "I'm going to kill her." If that's not enough, in case you didn't hear that loud and clear, I'm going to fucking kill her. So I'm going to kill her. I'm going to fucking kill her twice. So, that's, That's strong. So at this point, Billy Jr., Lampman, and Lewis all leave the party and walk toward Lampman's house. Lewis leaves his own party.
He's going with them.
Leaving the ship. It's just a motel. I don't own this joint. Let him kick holes in the drywall. What the fuck do I care? So they walk toward Lampman's house. I guess somewhere along the way, and this I don't understand too. So they're walking at night in a small town. Somewhere along the way, Billy Jr. peels off on his own and disappears. And they're like, okay. Lampman and Lewis are like, I don't know, man, fucking. And I'm sure Lampman was like, dude, you have no idea what I've been dealing with all night. He wanted a fucking knife, and she gave him chlamydia, and, you know, Jesus Christ. I mean, taken in stride like the old dirty bastard. He got burnt once, but it was only gonorrhea, you know? Taken in stride. In every one of his songs, he mentioned it, you know? He was proud of it.
He was not, well, maybe he was proud of it.
He was proud of it. He was. He was like, it's all right, you know?
It's a badge of honor, babe.
He didn't mind.
He went away.
He was like, because I've been fucking. That was the way. That was the way he presented it, though.
You know what that means? This was in a woman. That's what it means.
You can't get it without fucking. I think he was getting that. So you know,
it's true.
So
don't get it from a water fountain.
No, you don't. So Lampman and Lewis return to Lampman's house and they watch Goodfellas, which is a wise decision.
Good call.
Good fucking call. Can't go wrong with Goodfellas ever. While watching the movie, Lampman tells Lewis that Billy Jr. told him that he was going to kill Counts too. So it was overheard at the party by a young woman. He told Lampman, and then also took Lewis aside and was like, you know, Daleen, I'm gonna fucking kill her. Like, he told her. So he's telling everyone that will listen that I'm going to kill her. So,
you know, this Jimmy reminds me of somebody real, you know, how he just smacks the shit out of her.
Yeah, you know.
You know, he said something. He was going to do something like this.
He did say, well, I could see when he's smacking her around. That's right. He says, Karen, I got enough to worry about getting whacked on the street. I got to come home for this. Yeah, that's how the scene goes perfectly. So, yeah, he was like, oh, you know what? Yeah, gun in the face.
I've seen that before.
So he did wake up with a gun barrel in his face. So that was an offensive move you couldn't. But everything else he did was wrong.
He gave her a chance too.
Yeah, he did.
You know, do it.
Still though, he shouldn't have done that.
No,
he shouldn't have done everything he did in that movie. Bad job, Henry Hill. Anyway, moving on. So they watch Goodfellas. Lampman tells Lewis, like I said, he told me, hey, he's going to kill her. A few hours go by. And then Billy Jr. comes back to Lampman's house. Yeah. Shows back up again. Jerry Lewis leaves shortly after. He's got a very busy schedule. Yeah. He leaves shortly after Billy Jr. gets back because he's probably like, I don't want to be near this crazy motherfucker. Billy Jr. then tells Lampman, they're like, what'd you do? You know, Lampman's like, well, what'd you do while you were gone? And he's like, oh, I killed her. I killed Counts. Yeah. And he's like, no, you didn't. And he said, quote, I fucked the bitch up. Whoa. That was his quote on it. So he's got a lot of remorse. Yeah. You can tell right away.
There's chlamydia all over that room.
Oh, spread everywhere. Yeah. You can tell his heart's breaking from this by the quote, I fucked the bitch up. You know.
Yeah, he's a mess.
He felt terrible about it. Just oh God, you can just see his soul, his heart's breaking. So Billy Jr. then tells Lampman that he stabbed Counts in the heart. And he says, quote, I did Daleen. That was what he said. And Lampman later indicated, he tells him that he doesn't fucking believe him. Yeah. He's like, no, you fucking didn't. Right. Because, I mean, you don't believe that. You don't want to believe that some dude you hang out with just went and killed his fucking girlfriend and then told you about it. That's the other thing. Don't tell me about it.
But all the signs are there.
I would say so. Everything leading up to it would make you think so. Yeah. I'll tell you right now, if anybody out there, if we ever become friends and become tight and you're about to kill your girlfriend / wife, don't fucking tell me about it. Or tell me about it. I'll call the cops on you. But I'm not going to let you just do that.
No.
If you're going to kill other people, if you have a business problem with somebody or something, you're going to whack, that's your fucking business. Right. But if it's your wife or girlfriend, I'm going to tell on you.
Disgusting.
That's scummy. Yeah. So, especially if you have kids, don't do that shit.
Yeah, you're an asshole.
So at this point, he said he did, this guy saying, I don't believe you. And Billy Jr. then spent the night at this guy's house. This guy's like, well, I guess curl up on my futon, you murdering son of a bitch. I don't know how you would leave that at that. Well, I said I did, and he's like, well, I don't believe you. Well, good night. And then, like, how do you break up a card game and just go to bed at that point?
Also, you're a dangerous individual, and I'm going to leave you in my house?
No, they played cards the rest of the night after that.
Shit.
He stuck around. They played cards the rest of the night. I guess Goodfellas was over.
I guess he really didn't believe him.
He didn't believe him, apparently, or he just didn't want to. Or, honestly, didn't want to. Or if he might have thought, if I say I believe him, and he thinks that I think he did it, he might fucking decide that he needs to kill me next. My only hope here might be going, no, get out of here. I know you didn't do it. That
I'm
way he
now a
thinks,
witness.
yeah, that way he thinks that I don't believe him.
Right.
It's the only way. So the next morning, this is the following morning, March 20th, Billy Jr. goes to the hospital to get tested for chlamydia.
Now he goes.
No, he goes right. Yeah, the next morning, first thing, bright and early, he goes. Later that morning, he returns to his parents' house, and then Jay Lampman comes over a short time later. Why would you come hang out with this guy? After last night, I'm never talking to this guy again.
Maybe go by Daylene's and see if she's okay.
That would be one.
That's
that would be my first trip in the morning. The second he left, I'd be like going over. Where did she live again?
Yeah.
Well, you killed her. Yeah, where did she live again? And was that which apartment was that? Oh, yeah, okay, I remember that.
Well, he's been there.
Yeah,
He went there to drop the baby off for dinner.
I'm gonna go. I'm gonna go knock on the fucking door and check on this fucking girl. I think at this point.
Where are you heading right now? You're gonna go get tested. All right.
Oh, cool.
You're gonna be busy for like 2 hours.
Yeah, I'm gonna go over here.
Yeah.
I think a little instead. And even if he didn't have any interest in that and literally did not believe that he did that and just thought he was blowing off steam, I'm not gonna go hang out with the guy the next day after that mess of a time. So Lampman arrives a short time after he gets to his parents. Billy tells Lampman that he tested positive for herpes, which I know from Loveline from back in the day that's not a thing. You don't test. It's a visual diagnosis, because people used to call Loveline all the time and go, I got a rash on my dick and blah blah blah. I think it's herpes. And Dr. Drew would go, you can't diagnose skin shit over the phone.
Right.
I don't know. Does it look like? I don't know. Like, I don't know what to tell you. And he'd be like, well, do I go get tested? And he's like, only if you have shit showing. Otherwise, there's no way you can't just test for that. It's a visual diagnosis. So anyway, he says he tested positive for herpes, and then Lampman said that he again told him that, oh yeah, and by the way, I really did kill Daylene last night. I wasn't fucking lying about that. So apparently then Billy Jr. went upstairs telling Lampman that he was going upstairs for a shotgun, and he had the gun there to, quote, take the cops out when they came for him. So every decision he's made has been poor so far. So then Lampman says that Billy Jr. puts a shotgun in the bathroom, I guess where you wouldn't expect it, and where he goes, I guess you can say, before you take me away, I'm going to take a quick piss. And then he comes out fucking guns blazing.
Or just in case, like, when they get there, he's in there shitting. You know what I mean? You got to have one close by when you're vulnerable.
Sitting on the bowl with his fucking barrels pointed at the door. That's paranoia. So at about 2:30 p.m., Billy Jr.'s brother calls from where? The Minnesota Correctional Facility in St. Cloud, where he is a fucking prisoner.
Perfect.
So let's go over this now. This is what I mean about Billy's parents and having the kid around, having the baby around them. Yeah. They have a one in jail, and then one who assaults police officers, beats the shit out of his pregnant girlfriend, and possibly kills him.
Brags at minimum.
Brags about it. Right. Yeah, absolutely. Just contracting STDs left and right.
Jesus.
So he calls the house from the correctional facility at St. Cloud. Lampman answers the phone over there for some reason, and tells Billy Jr.'s brother that he should speak to Billy Jr. He's like, you need to talk to him.
So Lampman is answering phones and accepting charges?
Apparently, because it's his brother.
Right.
So he knew that they were going to accept the charges.
What's to say that we aren't mad at that man today?
Yeah, I feel like he's there.
Dick?
I feel like he's there all the time.
Okay.
I feel like Lampman and him grew up together. I feel like it's that sort of thing.
Anybody at my house never accept phone charges from fucking anywhere.
If I have a fucking landline, then that's my stupid fuck. Tell you what, I don't have a landline. I deserve it. Yeah. The telemarketers, polling, everything. I deserve it all because
James has a landline. You're free to call 1-900 numbers all day.
Go ahead. All you want. That's right, because they don't exist anymore either. So anyway, he tells him he needs to talk to him. So Billy Jr. then speaks to his brother, and he tells him, by the way, he tells an inmate on a jail line that it may be recorded that he killed Counts and he left the 3 children with her.
What the fuck?
The dead body. This is what he tells his brother. He says, I killed her and just left the kids there with the body. Which
one is your own.
Wow. I mean, to do that, if that's true, to do that, the heartlessness in that is bonkers.
Yeah.
So later that evening, about 5:36 p.m., that Catherine Weddle, I think she got off of work, and she goes over to Count's apartment. She has keys, opens the door, and finds Daylene dead.
Oh, my God.
Blood everywhere. She was stabbed a lot. And there's blood everywhere, and all 3 kids are there. They are screaming and crying. And
soaked in blood.
Bloody and a mess, and they're kids, and they are trying, they think their mother's hurt, and they're trying to help her, and it's a fucking Dexter situation. Seriously, this is some Dexter shit here. This is the worst. Counts' daughter there, Counts' daughter, the one who's 5 now, told the friend, Catherine Weddle, that Bill killed her mother. Because she was there. The kids saw this fucking shit. He did this in front of fucking kids, man. And Jesus Christ. So the neighbor then ran to Weddle, the friend, ran to a neighbor's house and said to call 911 and get the police here and all that. And then the police finally show up. And man, what a fucking mess this is. This is horrible. The coroner here says that Counts had a deep stab wound inflicted through her clothing that reached her heart and caused her death and caused her to bleed out. That was the cause of death. But much of her clothing had been cut because he was just slashing at her. Slashing and slicing. Her abdomen, both arms, thighs, buttocks, everything were all slashed. She had a deep stab wound in her buttocks. Also, he stabbed her in the ass really deep to be an asshole about it. A stab wound below her left breast, and he carved the letter T into her stomach.
What?
He carved a fucking letter into her stomach.
But what's the letter for?
I don't even know what that stands for, and we never find out.
Wow.
Because I don't even, what the fuck,
Is he calling her a tramp? Is he stamping her?
I don't know. That's what I mean. I don't know what this is
What is that?
What this is in reference to, if this is something that they had talked about, if that's the guy she was fucking,
or maybe he's just a bad cross
or
drawer.
he's bad at it. Yeah, I don't know what it is, but dude, he's wow. That's sick, man.
Yeah.
He didn't just stab her and kill her and in a rage and whatever the
Marked
fuck.
her up.
He went and tried to make it known that he wanted to take his aggression out on her, and then he carved. That's sick, man. And also her left eye was bruised. The medical examiner thought that the injury to the eye was inflicted before death. That's pre-mortem here. And also he said it might have happened as much as a day before. So that might have happened, earlier. He might have socked her in the eye or something when he was arguing with her when he walked out. The other injuries were, he says, the stab to the heart was the fatal one, and he said all the other ones were post-mortem. So he killed her pretty quick with the stab to the heart, and then cut her up while she was already dead. And while the kids were there, while the fucking kids were there, investigation here, obviously the police find him to be a suspect right away when the kid's like, this guy did it. That's something.
Stepdaddy did it. I mean, the
kids they know his name.
Him.
It's Bill.
Right.
They go to his parents' house where they found him, and they end up arresting him, obviously. Right away, just to, make sure.
Because there was no plan.
There's no,
there's just knife her up.
Yeah, that's and then tell everyone about it, which is insane.
And hopefully my dick healed, and then everything will be fine.
Tell everyone about it beforehand and afterwards, just to make sure they all know. When they questioned him about his whereabouts the night of the killing and the next day, he denied killing her. He told police he was with a friend the entire evening of the murder, through the next morning until about 10:30 a.m. He said then he went to a hospital to get tested for an STD that he told him that told him that she had contracted. So he said, no, I just hung out with my friend, played some cards.
Got my dick checked.
And here I am. I don't know what you're talking about. She's hurt? Oh, no.
She's what?
Oh, no. But then in the basement of his parents' home, I mean, this is the dumbest thing ever. They find a hand-drawn picture of a bleeding heart with a knife sticking out of it, with the words "Help me" written underneath it.
Wow.
It's like he might as well. I have videotaped it and just gave it to the cops. Why don't you just watch what I did here? I took the liberty. There's 2 angles. So just in case.
It's a 2-camera shoot.
That's what I mean. Because if she turns a little, you really want to see you go to the other side. Just cut to camera 2. It's all, I did audio for both of them, so it's fine. You can sync them up and do whatever you got to do.
I had a grip.
Wow. At that point, they were like, let's take this asshole to the police station. There's a lot of whatever anyway, and this is pretty bad. So later that evening, there's an audio taped interview, and he denies killing her again and again and again. April 19th, 1993, which is like a month later, they indict him finally, formally, 10 counts, including 3 of first-degree murder with premeditation, which you don't want to have those. No. 10 counts are murder in the first degree with premeditation, murder in the first degree while committing criminal sexual conduct with force or violence, murder in the first degree while committing domestic abuse.
So he raped her too.
That's what they're saying. It's possibly like they're talking about the stab wounds and stuff, but that we'll talk about that. That doesn't end up panning out legally. Also, murder in the first degree while committing domestic abuse when the perpetrator has engaged in a past pattern of domestic abuse upon the victim.
Brilliant.
This is a good law that Minnesota has, and that's a big one. Pay attention to that because he's going to really have a problem with that particular deal there. They would have been good for OJ. I never heard OJ charged with that exactly.
What the fuck?
They just had to establish a pattern, but there wasn't a special aggravator for it.
I'll bet LA County has it now.
Probably. Murder, this was 93. That's progressive for 93. Murder in the second degree with intent, but without premeditation. Murder in the second degree with intent while an order of protection is in effect. Murder in the third degree without intent, but evincing a depraved mind. Count 7 is criminal sexual conduct in the second degree, sexual contact causing personal injury by force or coercion. Then assault in the second degree with a dangerous weapon, endangerment of a child, and neglect of a child.
Those are good.
Those are all good charges.
Meanwhile, how many murders does Minnesota have that they put this much thought into the way?
They gave the jury options. So if he says, if they say, we don't think it was premeditation, they're like, all right, well then count 3 is good for you. Or or count count 2 would be for you. Or
they're like
it's
a
crazy.
car salesman.
Yeah,
like,
what about that?
You don't need
the rust proofing? Well, how about new tires? How about the 17-inch wheels? What do you think of those? Those are pretty nice. So he he moves to dismiss the indictment, obviously, right in the beginning. Just going to take a quick break from the show to tell you a little bit more about Simply Safe Home Security.
SimplySafe.com.
That is SIMPLI safe.com. We love this alarm system. This is a really awesome, convenient, it gives you peace of mind. It's everything you need to protect your home, nothing you don't. Most of these alarm companies are really annoying because they load your home up with obnoxious hardwired technology and you wait forever to have it installed. You're bombarded with contracts and all this type of thing. Simply Safe is different. It doesn't do any of that stuff. It's security you actually want. It's designed so you won't notice it. You never have to think about it. It's that easy. It's intuitive. There's no contract. They work hard to earn your business. That's how they're going to keep your business. They're going to earn it. They're not going to just tie you in with a contract that you're forced to stay there.
Make you love it.
That's right. 24/7 monitoring, police and fire dispatch, just $15 a month for that, $15 a month. Comprehensive protection for your windows, doors, every single room, backups, protecting your home. Even if you lose power, you lose internet, someone attacks the system, it's all backed up, no problem at all. Right. It's won Editor's Choice Awards from CNET, PC Magazine, and The Wirecutter. And Simply Safe protects over 2 million people. Visit simplysafe.com today for free shipping and free returns on a 60-day risk-free trial. Go now, simplysafe.com/small. simplysafe.com/small.
SIMPLISAFE.com/small. And now back to the show.
Hey, everybody, just going to take a quick break from the show to tell you a little bit more about TrueCar.
TrueCar.com.
Here are some useful car tips you might not be aware of.
Yeah.
A coffee filter and a little bit of olive oil can clean your interior.
That's handy.
Removing excess weight from your car will improve your gas mileage.
What?
And you can place your key fob in your chin to increase its range.
I did know that.
Weird. That's weird stuff. I actually have heard that too. Well, here's another tip you might not know about. TrueCar also helps people get good used cars.
That's true.
They really do. I'm telling you that right now from personal experience because we bought a used car through TrueCar. Right. And it was a great experience. Found the car we wanted. Got it at a great price. It was at the dealership when I went there, ready to go.
There it is.
It was the best, easiest way I've ever bought a car in my life. TrueCar isn't just for buying new cars. With their certified dealer network and nationwide inventory of nearly 1 million used cars, you'll enjoy real pricing on actual inventory and a simpler buying experience, whether you buy new or used. And with TrueCar, users can see what others paid, so they know if they're getting a good deal before buying. They're also more likely to enjoy a faster buying experience by connecting with TrueCar certified dealers. When you're ready to buy a new or used car, check out TrueCar and enjoy a more confident car buying experience. Some features are not available in all states.
Yeah, that's true. At TrueCar.com. And now back to the show.
And then he ends up pulling that back and just tries to get dismissed 2 counts of the indictment. He argued that the domestic abuse homicide statute, the one about the pattern of domestic abuse, is unconstitutionally vague because it does not define the term pattern in the phrase past pattern of domestic abuse. How about we're all adults and we all speak fucking English and everyone in that courtroom went to fucking college and they all know what pattern means. How about that?
You seen a quilt, motherfucker?
They didn't define the word sky, so I don't really know what they mean when they say the sky is blue. They could mean the ground. I'm not sure. No.
You ever heard of a child named Sky?
We have words, and we know what they mean. Pattern is a very specific fucking word.
I've never seen a blue
it's
child.
It's a pattern. It's a. I mean, is he saying, well, I didn't do it monthly, so then that's not a pattern? Is that what he's saying? I mean, fuck this guy. This is what I mean. This is... So the trial court doesn't address whether the statute was unconstitutionally vague because the facts of the whole thing weren't even presented yet. So they're like, well, how do we know if that relates to this? Because we haven't even seen the evidence yet. So they don't end up. They say basically we're going to set that aside and not even look at it. Trial starts November 8th, 1993. This is pretty quick here. I mean, that's in a few months. Oh my God. They have videotape testimony of the 5-year-old.
Oh, no.
Oh, no. Oh, no is right, but oh, yeah for him, because that is damning as fuck.
Yeah.
Oh, my God.
Did they, give her a doll and a knife?
No, they just had her talk, and she's 5, and she is, her name's Tiffany. She's a cute little girl. She said, quote, "Mommy has a T on her tummy." She saw the cut, man. She said, it's insane. That's fucking nuts. She said, "Mommy has blood here," and was pointing to spots on her. She said she rubbed her chest then. She died. She said, quote, "Mommy has 2 owies here," and pointing to her arms on the picture. They provided her with a picture to point to.
Good Christ,
to say
man.
where they did this. They saw the thing.
Did you watch it?
No. I didn't see it.
God.
It's from 1993.
There's
I don't think
a
they have
Netflix,
it. I don't want to watch that. It's heartbreaking.
There's
it's hard
a Netflix
enough to
thing
say it and read it.
About a woman that drowned her daughter and then the son testified against her.
It's
and
brutal.
It's fucked
I've
up.
seen those. The kids.
It's so tough.
When the doctor asked him what caused the wounds, Tiffany said, quote, "Bill did with a knife. Bill did because he was mad at Mommy." She said, quote, "My mommy died. Bill died her," which is the fucking saddest thing I've ever heard in my life. And that is just goddamn horrible. If you're a jury at that point, not only do you want to convict him, you want to fucking take him apart yourself after you're done hugging that kid. You want to go take that fucking person apart. You would want to rip him limb from limb.
Men in Black flashing thingies
just
to fix
gone,
that little girl.
Because she's
That's
fucked
up.
She's fucked. Yeah. That's
ruined.
How would you not be? You're in therapy forever if you saw your mother get brutally chopped up in front of you.
Where the fuck is Will Smith?
This is Dexter. This is exactly Dexter. It's the same exact thing. Because of this, the state has to present a lot of evidence of domestic violence. They get 2 people to testify about the neighbor that testified that she called, hearing, I'm going to smash you, I'm going to beat you up and all that shit. They get her. They get other people. They get another neighbor that's heard something being smashed against a wall. Again, then they get all sorts of people. 2 other people that say that they hadn't personally witnessed it, but she told them about it. A couple friends of hers, and then and they admit that a lot of this is hearsay evidence, but she's not here to testify. But she's told consistent things to several different people, so they take that for what it is. He objects to the hearsay evidence during the trial, but they say we're going to have it anyway. The evaluator from those custody hearings testifies and says, "Yeah, she told me this, and that. I helped her get restraining orders against him." She said, he beat me up while I was pregnant and all that. The court hears about her getting hit with a can and being choked because she refused to have sex with him. They hear about the orders of protection that she sought, every single one. They hear the whole sordid tale that we put out in the beginning. They hear everything. They hear about the prisoner that he was, the inmate that he was in with, came and testified saying, "Yep, he said he was going to do her in."
Oh, boy.
A parade of people said he used to beat the shit out of her all the time. Then another parade going, "Yeah, he said he was going to kill her. Yep, he said he killed her. Yep, said he was going to kill her," repeatedly. He testifies.
He does.
This guy has the sack to get up there and fucking testify and think he's going to talk his way out of this shit, or at least talk his way into a lesser sentence. His goal is to get manslaughter on the bill.
That's what he wants.
If he provides enough evidence saying that it was a heat of passion, whatever thing, then they'll ask the jury to consider manslaughter as well at the end, and that's his goal through this trial because he has no other no recourse. The kids saw him do it. Yeah. He told everybody he did it. They never found the knife, but that doesn't fucking matter.
He's a talking motherfucker.
That's the thing. He never shuts up. He's a real asshole. Yeah. He's just his junior behavior to the max. At the trial, he admitted killing her on the stand, but he denied that he premeditated the murder, even though he told everyone he was going to kill her, asked for a knife, carried the knife out, the whole thing. He claimed the killing occurred in the heat of passion. Also on the stand, first in his testimony, he says that Lampman gave him the knife, and then later on he says, no, I stole it from him. Okay. So that's what you want to do on the stand. Catch your own self in lies. That can only help you.
Change your story under oath.
Change your, especially big things like where you got a knife from.
The actual murder weapon.
Yeah, try to put someone else in it with you, and then when no one believes you, go, never mind, I just did it myself. Yeah, it's fine. This is what he testified happened. He said that he left Lampman and Lewis. He went to Count's apartment, intending only to vandalize either Catherine Weddell's car or the car of the man whom he suspected that she was seeing. Yeah. So he said, I just went over there to fuck up a car like a 16-year-old or a woman in a country song. I didn't do it I wasn't going to do anything else.
I'm going to write fire dick across the trunk of a Caprice.
I was going to write feel the burn across his hood. See how you like that. So he says instead he got to Count's apartment about 10 p.m. He said there was no cars present, so he's like, fuck, now what do? I have nothing to vandalize. So instead he said, I'll just break the front window. Fuck it. Front door window. I'll just break that. Which you want to do in a place where your kid's staying. You want to have an easy entry point for people to break in and steal your child.
Or at minimum, nobody hears the glass break. And now there's glass on the floor with toddlers in the place.
So that's what you want. You're 11-month-old. They love to crawl at that age. And guess what's bad? Glass on the floor.
Jesus.
So he banged on the window. He banged on the window and the door with the butt of the knife, he said, the one he took from Lampman's house. But the window didn't break. Jesus Christ, that's crazy. A light came on in the apartment. You can wake people up if you bang on their windows with fucking knives. So Counts came to the door. He says that Counts let him into the apartment. When he entered the apartment, he said he had the knife concealed under his jacket. So right away, that tells me that's some pre-something. You're hiding a knife from her. That's a bad thing.
You're not letting her know what you have with you.
Not at all, especially that it's dangerous, and especially dangerous to her. He then testifies that once he let him into the apartment, they sat and talked. He said they were just talking, everything was fine. He said that his daughter and Count's young son were both awake, and that he rocked his daughter to sleep, and that he put his daughter in Count's son's bed, I guess, or put his daughter and her son to bed. Okay. They both went to bed.
He happened to whisper something about dick sores to her?
I think he said, I got the biggest dick sores in town, sweetheart. And then later down. Like I tell my daughter every night. By the way, I have to say happy birthday to my daughter who is 17 this week.
Oh, Jesus.
The day after this comes out, she's 17.
Unbelievable.
She is awesome, and she's doing great, and I'm happy she's made it this far. Good job, kid.
Or good for you.
Yeah, good for me. This. We've kept her on, we've kept her from falling apart.
Drawing wind for 17 years.
She's doing good, and she does well in school, and she's a good kid, and she knows she's not going to endure panhandle behavior. Good. So this is good.
Don't allow any man to hit you, Madison.
No, she knows fucking that better. She has a nasty right cross because I taught her.
And a cousin that carries steak knives.
Yeah, and a cousin that carries steak knives, and she knows to kick balls and punch faces. Yeah. She knows kick balls and punch noses, and I've taught her well, and she's good.
And between her dad and her uncle, she has 12'8" of
giant
man.
People, angry people.
Right.
Billy says that even though he was drunk at the time, he was feeling comfortable there. He said he was feeling, quote, at home again, sitting in his usual chair in his usual spot with the kids around. He said it felt like he lived there again, and he felt like they were a family again. He said during this time, he took his jacket off and placed it and the knife under his chair. Because, there's kids on the floor, so you want the small ones are asleep. But still, he takes his knife in the jacket, puts it under the chair. It's going to put it all away for a minute. Everything's going so well.
Back here.
Yeah. So after the kids were put to bed, which is about 15 minutes after he got there, he said, Counts tells Billy that she didn't want to spend Easter, which is also their daughter's birthday, with him. So she says she wants to take the daughter and she wants to spend Easter with another man. Yeah. And she said she wanted the daughter to be with her and this other man on Easter / her birthday. Right. And this is her first birthday too. So he is, he's upset about that.
Between my chlamydia and your herpes, this place smells terrible.
It's fucking awful in here.
Get out of here.
These two.
This is no birthday at all.
This is going to be a bad birth. That cake is going to be toxic. We don't need that happening. So nobody make the cake. So and I could see that being a discussion, but I want to see my daughter on Easter and her birthday, and her saying, "Well, I'm going to do it." That's a discussion that normal adult parents might have and work out amicably like adults. You know what I mean? Some shit like that. But after this all happened, he said that the mood completely shifted and he felt shocked and hurt. And he said that he was crying at this point. He was so sad. His feelings are hurt, Jimmy. He then he says that Counts told Billy Jr. that she'd been seeing another man during the period that they were still romantically involved, but when he was serving time in jail for, remember when you were in jail for assaulting that cop? Right. Remember that when you slugged that cop? Well, I was banging this other guy. She's telling him that, which he already knew.
Guy and I've got chlamydia. He knows that she's fucking somebody else.
Right. Yeah, unless he had chlamydia to begin with.
Right.
Billy then asked her whether she had contracted chlamydia from the man who she was seeing while he was in jail. She responded that she didn't, that it was somebody else, and that she told Billy Jr. that she had contracted chlamydia, from a different man. So now there's other people involved in this that he didn't know about. Billy said that he was hurt and angry because he felt that she'd been lying to him about everything, which they don't live together. Right. They're not married. They're not together. They're on and off, and you beat the shit out of her. You have no claim to this woman. I'm sorry.
She has no responsibility to tell you her sex life.
Fuck no, nothing. So he says he was so hurt and so angry, and he was so overwhelmed by this feeling of rage that he'd been lied to, that his only response that he could possibly do was to grab the knife. He grabbed the knife and he stabbed Counts in the heart, and he threw her on the floor and slashed her, he said. That's all he said he did.
That's it.
No, that's it. He said that he testifies that he watched her die. He didn't seek any medical help because they asked her, did you watch her die? Did you make sure she died? Yup. Did you seek medical help? Nope. No. Which is a bad sign. Right. He said he left the apartment, locked the door behind him.
Wow.
Made sure to lock it all up behind him, make it nice and clean. Left the fucking kids there.
Yeah.
Didn't think twice about that. Threw the knife in the gutter and just made his way back to Lampman's house and casually said, fucking killed her. Let's play some cards.
That's a shit story. She is knifed to fucking
She's
holy
knifed
hell.
to shit. Yeah, he didn't. He just said he slashed her a little bit as he pushed her to the ground.
Wow.
He didn't say, deep stab wound in her ass.
Gave her
and I slashed her up and I her clothes are all cut up and I carved a giant letter in her stomach that her daughter then see. Yeah.
For no reason.
A capital fucking T. This is insane. Wow. He also admits to leaving the children in the apartment with the body, which is crazy. He said that the total time he was at the apartment was between 30 and 45 minutes. So he went in and completely destroyed everybody's life in 30 to 45 minutes and locked the door behind him nice and clean, chucked the knife in the gutter, went and played some cards like it never fucking happened. Mother of 3 kids, including his own.
Right.
No feeling for it at all. Close of the trial, the court concludes that Billy Jr. had presented sufficient enough evidence to warrant an instruction to the jury on the lesser included offense of first-degree manslaughter for intentionally causing the death in the heat of passion. Okay. This is a big deal here. The court, however, refused Billy's request to give an instruction to the jury, which is a special instruction, which talks about the absence of heat of passion as an element of premeditated first-degree murder. Yeah. So they're saying that, the absence of the heat of passion, it's weird. He wants them to tell the jury, if there's no heat of passion, then that's an element for premeditated first-degree murder. Right. So they're saying by the opposite trend, if there's heat of passion, the presence of heat of passion means that it can't be a first degree murder. If not having it means it is. They're trying to play it like that.
It can have both, right?
That's the thing. They're not mutually exclusive, and legally that's a horseshit argument that he's trying to make here. The way they have it listed in the law there, they say a person is guilty of manslaughter in the first degree when the person intentionally causes the death of another person in the heat of passion provoked by such words words or acts of another as would provoke a person of ordinary self-control under like circumstances. So it's basically, would that make a reasonable person snap? Right. It's basically up to 12 jurors. Yeah. Would that make you snap? If they said, I just killed your daughter, would you kill that person then? And you go, fuck yeah. And then that would be considered, that's manslaughter. That's not murder. You know, that's what it is. But, I want to spend Easter with my new boyfriend. Doesn't fucking qualify. Sorry. Right.
Everybody's still healthy in the family? Apart from my fiery
you're
dick
not,
and
you're not
clam.
In danger.
Right.
Your life isn't in danger. Your daughter's life isn't in danger. That's the only two things that are okay here. Your life, your daughter's life are in danger. Otherwise, fuck you. Billy also requested that the trial give the two different jury instructions like we talked about that distinguishes between first-degree premeditated murder and first-degree manslaughter. Right. They gave a lesser one here. The state objected to instructing the jury, arguing it was a misstatement of Minnesota law because it is. Because like I just said, it doesn't mean you can't just say one's the opposite because one is. That doesn't make sense. That's flawed logic is what that is. So December 1st, 1993, finally the trial's over. Right. Everything's done. Okay. There is 8 hours of deliberation, which is not a lot. Yeah, it's not a lot of deliberation. That's enough to, when there's 10 counts and that's not just like murder or...
It's less than an hour each count.
Yeah, but that's true. That's actually true. You would think that, I mean, like if it was just one count, first degree murder, this would probably be cut and dry pretty quick. But the fact that there's 10 counts, they actually have to go through them all and discuss them. After 8 hours of deliberations, he is found guilty, shocker, on all counts except for count 2, which is first-degree murder while committing criminal sexual misconduct. Okay. And also the lesser-included offense of first-degree manslaughter because they knocked him on all the first-degree murders.
Gotcha.
So they didn't get him on the sexual assault. They didn't prove that there was a sexual...
So they were trying to say that he raped her with the knife?
They were trying to say that because it was in the region of her... But it wasn't in, like, the genital region. It was in the actual, like, buttock area. But they were saying that it was close enough to where...
Gotcha.
Well, I mean, honestly...
He could have been aiming for there.
To me, that is what that was. That was an attempt at some sort of sexual degradation and degradation.
You did this to me, I'm doing this to you.
Exactly.
He's an asshole, so
but he's bad at it.
Right.
But the jury just took it as, we're not positive on that one, and we're banging him on fucking 8 other counts, including like 3 first-degree murders, so it's good enough.
He should just be real thankful he missed.
Yeah, exactly.
Right.
Exactly. That's true, actually. Now, February 7th, 1994 is sentencing here.
Okay.
So obviously he's begging, they're pleading for him. Sure. There's no death penalty on the table, but life is on the table.
Yeah.
That's enough. The defense attorney here said, quote, "This incident occurred when the defendant was intoxicated. It was spontaneous. It was a spontaneous and isolated incident, and he has extreme remorse." Isolated from what?
Right.
He hasn't killed every other woman he's encountered. Like, what is this? This is exactly the fucking pattern of what he does. There's the word pattern. I just used it. I know what it means. Number one. And number two, fuck you. This is an isolated. Isolated or not, you stabbed a woman a shitload of times.
The thing about...
It doesn't need to be a lot of those.
The thing about murdering somebody is you can only do it once to them.
That's the thing.
You
to
know
them.
What I mean? You've beat the holy fuck out of her so many times just because he didn't kill her last time. This is isolated.
This is the escalation of it. This is what it goes to.
Eventually,
you take a little more, and then you fucking kill. That's what happens. That's why they have that law.
Right.
Because it's happened so fucking often. It's crazy. But this, by the way, is the judge. This is Goodhue County District Judge Raymond Pavlik's. This sentencing is his final judicial act before retiring.
Oh boy.
So
he could give a fuck.
He doesn't care. How much before you go home would you like to say, that last case there was a fucking scumbag who beat up his girlfriend, murdered her severely, and left her with 3 bloody kids crawling all over her.
Boy, did I make a statement.
Got to fuck him right up the asshole, and it felt good. That happened.
Guess who didn't miss?
Guess who didn't miss? This guy. Those cuffs are fucking accurate every time. Boom. Shit. Guess who didn't miss? His cellmate.
Yeah.
So he pleads for mercy. Yeah. Billy Jr. saying that he deeply regretted his actions, is what he said, and he was very sorry. He made this, mitigating statement.
Sure.
And the judge says back to him, this is wonderful. And like I said, he's got to feel good about this being his last thing he ever did. He says, quote, "I heard you say you were sorry, But the conduct you displayed that evening that resulted in all of these charges is beyond the court's comprehension, including leaving those children there after killing the victim. You, sir, may most certainly fuck off. Yeah. And he gives him life imprisonment for the first-degree murder, 58 months to run concurrently for committing the criminal sexual conduct in the second degree, and 1 year in addition for endangering a child, and another year and a day for violating his probation that he was on for assaulting a police officer when he fucking started this whole thing.
He should have hit him with some Kenny Power shit. Guess who both of us are going home forever, motherfucker.
Yeah, that's right. No shit. Oh, the big fuck off thing. He will be eligible for parole in a little over 30 years. So that's about 2024, which is
life with though
coming up. That's coming up.
Yeah,
that's coming up about 6 years. This guy's eligible for parole, which is nuts.
Unless he fucks up.
Yeah, no shit. Counts' mother, Mary Poole, made a comment here. She just said, I hope the next woman that cries for help, somebody will listen. No fucking shit. Now on appeal, here, he appeals this, obviously. He argues that, first of all, the court abused its discretion when it refused to instruct the jury exactly how he wanted to about something ridiculous. Okay. He said that they should have been told lies and horseshit, that, because it's the opposite, it's the same, basically here. He says, as a matter of fact, that the court's refusal entitles him to a new trial because the failure to instruct the jury pursuant to what he wanted effectively relieved the state of proving beyond a reasonable doubt an element of first-degree intentional murder that Billy did not act in the heat of passion. Okay. Therefore, Billy claims that his due process rights were violated. The appeals court does not agree with that. They say they conclude the jury instructions given to the trial by the trial court, when viewed as a whole, adequately instructed the jury as to the state's burden of proof. I would say so. They also go on to say that in this case, Billy and Counts had a romantic relationship, lived together, were parents of a 1-year-old daughter. Relationship deteriorated, lived apart. On the evening of the murder, the relationship was, quote, subjected to heightened emotional strain. Counts disclosed to Billy Jr. she may have caused him to be infected with a sexually transmitted disease, that she had been seeing other men, and she was romantically involved while she was romantically involved with Billy, and that she planned to spend Easter with and the daughter's first birthday with another man. So
that's nothing.
Yeah. They're putting all this up. They're saying in response, he testified that he felt hurt, shock, anger. Sure. The trial court concludes that the testimony was not so unworthy of belief that no rational jury would be entitled to believe it, and that the jury might have reasonably inferred that Billy Jr. intended to kill Counts in the heat of passion. Based on the conclusion, the court did not submit the jury instruction in the lesser. Basically, they say, after all this, a trial court's refusal to give a particular jury instruction constitutes error only if the trial court abused its discretion. They're saying they didn't abuse its discretion. This instruction lies within the broad discretion of the court.
Sure.
So fuck off is what he's saying. Now
she's still dead, bro.
That's the it doesn't fuck. And they're saying, they go into the whole thing. The absence of heat of passion is not an enumerated element of premeditated first degree murder on the content. It's just this whole. It's illegal. This is why people go to law school, so they can sit and go, well, if this means this, then this must mean that, but it doesn't, and we can interpret it and argue about it for fucking years until it goes to the Supreme Court and they decide.
Whatever it means, you still took a mother from 3 children.
That's the bottom line, and that's not debatable.
Right.
Either way. And it's funny because it's not like this is a guy where you look at and there's no doubt that he did it. Right. There's no doubt why he did it. There's no doubt about any of it. We don't need this fucking guy. No. We just don't. That should be the appeals court decides we don't need this fucking guy. Right. End of goodbye. That's it. They kick him off of there.
Can we pay that judge double for a day just to come back and say that fucking thing?
Yeah, can we do that?
Just for one day. Double dip for a day.
You, sir, may fuck off too. I really want that.
Forever.
Again, in starker terms.
At least till 26.
Yeah, definitely.
24?
Something.
24.
Yeah.
6 years away.
There you go. Perfect. So, 24. Yeah. They conclude that when, as in this case, the defendant is charged with premeditated murder and sufficient evidence is adduced at trial for a jury reasonably to infer that the defendant caused the death of another person in the heat of passion provoked by such words, act, blah, 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 blah. They say that everything is fine with that and he can fuck off.
Okay.
Now, the next point is the juicy one and the one that's important because it is a direct direct challenge to the domestic violence law.
Really?
Basically, if he wins this, if this goes all the way to the state Supreme Court and this goes over, it's gonna fuck up this law bad. So that's what he's doing. There's one meager protection for these fucking poor people in this situation, and he wants to dismantle it for his own fucking deal here.
For a guy that fucking is a domestic violence fucking
clearly
violator.
He argues that the statute violates due process because the term pattern, as in pattern of past pattern of domestic dispute, abuse, is unconstitutionally vague. They conclude that the statute is not impermissibly vague in all of its applications. They considered the issue in two different homicide cases from the past here. The statute says any person who causes the death of a human being while committing domestic abuse, when the perpetrator has engaged in a past pattern of domestic abuse upon the victim and the death occurs under circumstances manifesting an extreme indifference to human life. I say that he fits that like a fucking glove. Like, you can't fit that any better. It's a perfect description of him.
What part was vague? I mean,
that's
that
what
was wordy as fuck.
That
you know
is not vague at all. The past pattern of domestic abuse upon the victim, which is pretty clear the intent. It's intentionally vague. Right. That's the point. It's intentionally meant that you can interpret it in a number of different ways. Right. I mean, it's not supposed to be.
A law
it's
can't
intentionally
be specific
like that.
to the way you domestically disturb somebody.
And that's how people attack laws and appeals, is they're going to the very specifics, which in some cases needs to be done, but not in this one.
It seems
doesn't
pretty
at all.
Specifically vague. You know what I mean? It's specific in its vagueness.
Absolutely. And they go through the fact that a lot of the assaultive behavior before the murder was presented as hearsay evidence. Yeah. That's a thing. They said that he challenged the admissibility of it there, but then he failed to do so in the appeals court. So they said that they have no way of, he hasn't even challenged it. So like that has to come in and just fine here. Yeah. And that definitely demonstrates a past pattern of domestic abuse. Mm-hmm. Absolutely. They talked about 5 people testifying about instances of physical abuse over a small 2-year window. It's not that much, for Christ's sake. The domestic abuse, including physical harm, bodily injury, assault, or infliction of fear of imminent physical harm, bodily injury, or assault between family or household members. That all seems pretty fucking... Pretty whatever. They said the court didn't, however, provide the jury with a definition of the term pattern. Okay. They said that that's a thing here. They said that they conclude that Counts and Billy Jr. were considered family or household members, because he was saying they weren't. Also, that's required by the statute, and also that Billy and Counts had periodically resided together by the fact that they had a child in common. Also, that's another one that puts it in the domestic category. They say that they were together on and off. They engaged in acts of violence toward her, made terroristic threats against her. The acts of domestic abuse as defined under the statutes, they basically say it's exactly what's defined under the statutes.
There's so much documentation between the hot dish against the wall, the hair grab and the cross-eyed cricket. There's so many different different times that he has beat the living fuck out of this woman. How can he consider this is not a pattern?
Well, let's see how they decide here. Okay. What's a court says, what fucking intelligent, hopefully, people would say here. They said that they think he did engage in a past pattern of domestic abuse. They say, therefore, Billy Jr.'s behavior was clearly proscribed by the domestic abuse homicide statute, and Billy Jr. cannot successfully challenge the statute as unconstitutionally vague, as they did as they talk about another case, holding that the appellant could not bring successful vagueness challenge to domestic homicide statute because the appellant's behavior evidenced a past pattern of domestic abuse under any reasonable circumstances, any reasonable definition of the term pattern. Therefore, we affirm. Take a fucking hike, asshole.
Terrific.
So he's gone. There's a lot of words to say. Fuck you, asshole, which is basically all they said.
That's what they wanted to say.
That's what they really wanted to say. Now, Daylene Counts. Daylene May Counts is her full name. She is buried at the Conrad Memorial Cemetery. That is in Kalispell, Montana, actually, in Flathead County, Montana.
She moved a state over.
Yeah, she moved a state over. I guess that's where she was from.
Get away from that.
Billy Jr.'s dickhead ass over here. Yeah, maybe that's her family taking her home. He is currently residing at the Minnesota Correctional Facility at Lino Lakes.
No kidding.
Hopefully mispronouncing it and being harassed for it constantly. Jesus Christ. By the way, on this website, rapsheets.org, the Minnesota Corrections Department has 3.5 out of 5 stars.
Really?
Not bad. I don't know who's It's a great experience. The fingerprints, they wiped them off my hands after they did it.
They washed my roll.
Nobody raped me. Right. That was nice. It was great. I had a good time there. Had some good camaraderie with the fellas, and everything was fine. I would get a DUI again to come back here.
It's terrific.
Now, it says that he is... later, that was when he was convicted. It said he's up for parole in 30 years. On his actual inmate thing, it says that his inmate profile, it says that his sentence is life, but to contact his caseworker to find out more information on his projected date and shit like that. It's not publicly released, I think, because this is a guy people want to fucking lynch. I would assume maybe they're keeping it secret. So in case you want to find out, and maybe tell his caseworker that you think he's a piece of shit, that maybe, whatever, you can do that. Her name is Elise Hammer, which is a great name for a case where he's going to drop the hammer on you. Phone number 651-717-6551. I don't know if I'm legally allowed to do that or not, but fuck this guy. He's a piece of fucking shit. I'm sorry. What you did is sucks, mister, and fuck you. I don't care. I hope a lot of people call this lady and say fucking, I don't know. Well, I don't know what you could say to make it worse for him, but say, when's he getting out? Don't let him out, please. I don't know. She has no control over that, I realize, but maybe she can pass along. For some reason, thousands of people are calling me saying not to pass that on to the parole board, maybe. I don't fucking know. Hopefully he wouldn't get out on his first parole.
You would think not, right?
After
murdering a woman in that fashion?
You might need his homicide court file number, which is GoodU-25K993000469. So you'll need to reference that also there to do that. So he is rotting there, hopefully for longer than 6 more years. Fingers because poor Daleen has nowhere to go, and we don't know anything about what happened to her kids or anything like that. Hopefully they've been kept private. Parents. Hopefully they went with her parents, and hopefully hopefully they've been just kept private and kept kind of out of this whole thing, and hopefully that poor little girl got some fucking help. The other 2 were probably too young to realize what was going on. The 11-month-old doesn't know shit. They won't know anything.
Died mommy, bro. But that was a phrase she said.
Will be fucked up. I'm talking the other one. The 3-year-old, that's a questionable one. She'll probably forget about it, maybe be a little weird, but the 11-month-old will be fine. The 5-year-old, God only knows. That poor girl, I hope they've helped her, because she is 30 now. That girl. She's 30 years old.
She is.
She's a 30-year-old woman, and I hope that she's gotten whatever the counseling she needs to get through that shit. Wow, that's another one of those cases where we have to say we don't know what the right thing to do is in that situation, because we're men and we have no training in this. We're comedians. This is when it comes up that we're not journalists, we're not attorneys, we're comedians. We're not caseworkers, we're not police officers.
I'm also not a woman hitter.
That's the other thing. Well, I mean, I don't know what to do if you're a woman in that situation. We're not the guys to tell you, go do this and go do that. We don't know. Be safe. Try to get away. We don't know. We don't know. We don't know what the best thing to do is.
I mean,
ask for help from people you trust. If you have people, who knows? Because people that don't have, who knows, man? It's so fucking horrible, and it makes me it's bad. It makes me it's cringeworthy, the whole thing.
Really is.
It's terrible. If you also find it cringeworthy, what you can do about it is give us 5 stars on iTunes or Apple Podcasts there. That would be terrific. That won't help the dead, but it will help the living who talk about the dead.
It's true.
So do that. Please give us 5 stars. Tell us you're following instructions or directions or whatever you want to do. It doesn't matter, because it's not for our egos, honestly. Do that. Also, you can go to shutupandgivememurder.com. Get your tickets to all those crazy upcoming live shows. We have some doozy cases for those, man. Oh, some good ones.
I can't wait.
So please, go get those.
See those shows, goddammit. They sold out last time. They're gonna
sell.
It's gonna happen
hopefully.
again.
Well, some of them will.
We're so close.
Minnesota sold out. They sold out like the second day. Like pre-sale happened, and they bought all the tickets that were available for pre-sale immediately, and then
2 days later,
regular sale happened, and within 48 hours they were sold out completely.
Amazing.
Like, you guys are the best. We can't wait to come to Minnesota, even in December, like maniacs.
Bring me some of that Wisconsin squeaky cheese.
I have to fucking buy a parka for that shit, but I'll be there. goddammit, freezing cold. It doesn't matter.
As the plane lands.
Let's just hope the plane lands and then takes back off again. It takes me back to Arizona where it'll be nice and warm.
De-ice that goddamn thing.
Jesus Christ!
Spray that antifreeze on.
We're going to spend a lot of time on runways. Also at shutupandgivememurder.com, you can find all the merch, all the new T-shirts on there. Check it out. Lots of cool stuff on there. Also, you can find links to donate and be a superstar producer.
Yes.
You can do that. like I said, follow the links that take you to patreon.com/crimeinsports, or you can go over to PayPal and make a one-time donation using crimeinsports@gmail.com, which is also another thing you can do on there is you can follow us at Small Town Murder on Instagram, at Murder Small on Twitter, Small Town Pod on Facebook.
Yep.
But never mind all that, Jimmy. I want you to tell me a group of people who are super heroic, who have never murdered a person and left toddlers to crawl on them.
That we know of.
Our producers. Yeah. Let's hope not. And if they have, we've still taken your money, and thank you for it. Jimmy, hit me with that list.
This week's executive producers are Conley. Oh, shit.
Right
Conley Armstrong, Pamela Rogers, Andrew Bryan, Ann Spence, Carmen Barajas, Chrissy Ann Castaldi, again, Ashley Beal. Isn't she fantastic?
She's so cool. Thank you.
Fucking ridiculous. Ashley Beal, Billy Bob Archer, Yvonne Abrahantes, and Lisa Coltrane. Thank you guys so much.
You guys are
fucking amazing.
Our life's blood, our heart and soul, and we can't do it without you. We really can't. Or any of these people. But those guys, wow, you're extra generous. Thank you.
Happy birthday, Daryl Wilkins. I fucking, Miss Huskins sent a donation to say something to this guy.
Oh, yeah.
And then that was like 3 weeks ago.
Oh, well, happy birthday. We're sorry.
He didn't know that I really wanted him to have a happy birthday. So next year, Daryl, have
a whole happy year.
Yeah,
never mind the one day. Happy whole year.
Right. Nick laying the cock. Because every time I see it, it makes me fucking. I'm so happy for him. Yeah. Kate Ives, Emily Cobb, Natalie Hodson, Jessica Manor, Karen Weiss, Justin Inwood, Jessica McKinney, Tim Sparling, Jason Hamming, Craig McGeechan, Alice with no last name, Jake LeBeer, Whitney Leonard, Keith Caswell, Thomas Edward Desmore, Julie Sackett, Peyton Meadows, I said Keith Caswell, god damn it, Jeremy Kuchiara, Captain Surly, Martina Liluwanga. She's
the best.
Francisco,
yeah, we met her in San Francisco. She said
amazing.
She's coming to our San Francisco show again at Cobb's.
Awesome.
What a cool lady, really nice. We can't wait to see her again. Give her a nice hug.
Emmy Dumont, Misty Beganat, Deanna Trippi or Tribe High. It might be Tribe High, right?
Ooh, that's nice.
Wasn't that in the Nerds movie? Wasn't it the Tribe Highs, or was that? It was Animal House.
Tri-Lambs.
Tri-Pies was the girls, though.
Oh, yeah, that's right. I was thinking of them. They're the Lambdas.
Right. Aaron Hammond, Rocks of Joy, Danielle Graham, Michelle Terry Photography, Jeanette Keel, Tupperware by Jason. That's fascinating.
Interesting.
I didn't know that shit was still being sold.
Wow. Okay.
And dudes
buy his Tupperware.
Dudes are in it.
Yeah, all right.
Ashley Vio, she is so fucking wonderful.
Thank you,
She's
Ashley.
great. Heather Goss, Jeanette Smith, Kate Myers, Ulysses Grant Parm. I don't know.
I'll have a Union General Parmesan, please.
I'm in. What is the meat in that?
I don't know, but I'm curious.
Asshole. Wasn't he an asshole? So it's asshole Parmesan.
He was in the Union.
Can I get some asshole Parmesan?
At least he wasn't for slavery.
That's a good point. Scott Sagal, Nathan Little, Nicola Elliott, Ariana Folsom. She's wonderful.
Yeah, thank you.
Hannah Simmons, Stina Gunnarsson, James Fraker, Meg Smith. She's up in Detroit. She's fantastic as well. Victoria Brody, Sandy Handjob, which is my favorite fucking ever.
Favorite Bart Simpson call-in.
Barbara Johnson, Barbara Felker, Ashley Powell, Shauna Bracelton. Shane Rayleigh donated both with Patreon and then got into fucking PayPal also.
Wow, well, thank you so much.
Shane. Bam Stroker. That is my favorite so far.
Well, that's always fun.
David Clark, Martina Kunkel. I said Ashley Powell, I believe. Robert West, Mariah Menhir. I try so hard to roll the R's with that Dutch shit. Janelle Kelsey, I fucking nailed it too. That's where she's from, right? She's Dutch.
I think, yeah.
I got it. All right. Where did I go? Lauren Demarath up in Chicago. Thank you, Lauren. Heather Rylander, Georgia and Jackson. Savannah Briand, or Bryand. I think it's Briand. Rob Roberts, which is fucking brutal, man. I'm so sorry, Bob Boberts.
Bob Boberts, better than Carson.
It is. Liz Ingalls, Ava Shinikova, Jesse Hartman, Axis Apparel. They are fantastic. Go buy their shit. Jillian Tuba, Kay Overbay, Jacob Schrag, John Joseph, Mary Carmody Trotman, Ron Bosch, Under the Sea Fabrics, Emily Kosh, Gisela Garamun. Oh, fucking! I knew I was gonna. I saw this. I'm gonna fucking knock this out. I read it in my head like 7 times. Gisela Garamun. Gisela God damn it, Gisela.
You were psyched up for it, too.
I was. Gisela Garmendoza, Dada Fleischer. That's her name. Bryant Toole, Beth Marcinko, Patrick Kelly, Hannah Turley, Lisa Bayless, Lisa Williams, Michael Lafazia, Ryan Bear, it's Bear, Brenda Parsons, Allie Lewis, Braylon Guerrero. She lives here in Phoenix. She's come to so many shows.
Awesome.
Brian Ford, Taisha J. Fuck.
Handwriting problem there.
Yeah.
That's not on you. That's on Jimmy's handwriting.
That's me being an idiot. Naomi James, Samantha Ballard, Richard Showman, Christy Davis, Corey Herman, Hannah Reeder, it's Cody Levine, Indiana Quillian.
Wow.
Yeah.
Your face, you really were like, D. Oh no, I'm in trouble halfway through that.
With no name, no last name, just D.
Yeah,
and Richard
up,
McCutcheon.
D?
You guys, Richard McCutcheon, I can't thank you guys enough for everything you do for us. Thank you.
Thank you, folks, so much.
You're amazing.
We can't do it without you. We say it all the time. You've done everything for us. Thank you so much for giving us a life in comedy that we enjoy and that is
not otherwise
worth
had.
it. No, we built a studio and a house that we got. You
guys gave
everything
this to us.
Thank you.
Fucking fantastic.
On a silver platter. So we're going to keep trying as hard as we possibly can for you guys every damn week. We're just going to do it as well as we possibly can. And what if they wanted to tell you about how well you can do it, Jimmy? How could they do that?
You can find me at Whisman Sucks, WHISMAN Sucks on Twitter, Instagram, and Snapchat. And thank you guys. This week has been really tremendous here in the different ways that you guys spend time listening to this. It's bananas. The stories are so
we love
incredible.
That. We love hearing that. And also, too, we really dig those stories where it's like you're telling us, I'm having a shit time right now. You'd think like people don't like to hear you complain. When you say I'm having a shit time, and dude, thank you that these podcasts get me through it, and I get a laugh out of it, and it cheers me up some. That's awesome, because we all have that go-to thing that makes us smile, or whether it's whatever you watch on Netflix that's like you watched when you were 12 that was funny, or whatever the hell your thing is, your happy place.
My thing is those
we're
messages.
Some people's happy place.
Those are
that's
what
I mean.
me through it. It's so fucking great.
We love that shit. We love when you tell us on Twitter, man, that was funny this week, or you shout out a joke, or you just tell us you like the episode, or that you just don't tell us you hate us. We're like, awesome. That's great.
I can't believe it. I like when they tell me that, but where can they tell you that?
They can tell me that at Jimmy P is funny. You can do that, or copy and paste my last name from the show description. If you don't want to be a hero and try to spell it like a crazy person. Do that. Come back, see us each and every goddamn week, because we'll keep coming back each and every week.
Shit, we'll see you on the road.
And until next week, it's been our pleasure.
Bye.
If you like Small Town Murder, you can listen early and ad-free now by joining Wondery Plus in the Wondery app or on Apple Podcasts. Prime members can listen early and ad-free on Amazon Music. Before you go, tell us about yourself by filling out a short survey at Wondery.com/survey.
In the 1980s, a rosé swept the country.
Hey, Mike, I really like this White Zinfandel.
Well, good. Now put it down. We're going to try another one.
White Zin became America's top-selling wine. But most don't know that this sweet drink has a sour history. What began in 1986 with counterfeit bottles,
a big fraud, a multi-million-dollar fraud,
sent investigators chasing one of the most powerful families in the business, the Licciardis. But the closer the feds got to them, the more dangerous things became. It's a story of deceit.
At the time, I was paranoid.
Threats.
You touch my kids, I will kill you.
And murder.
With a .22 caliber bullet to the head.
What started with a scheme to mislabel wine spilled into a blood-soaked battle for succession. Welcome to Bloodvines. You can binge listen to Bloodvines exclusively and ad-free on Wondery Plus. Join Wondery Plus in the Wondery app, Apple Podcasts, or Spotify.